Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 Charles Schwab Challenge. My name is Eric and here's SweetSpotDFS. It's all about trying to hit the optimal lineup every single week. And in these strategy videos, basically what we talk about are the marquee tee times, the sweet spot ranks, and the anchor buckets to combine with what we learned during the preview video to find our core we want to build our lineups around. So we're going to try to get very narrow with our player pool within this video and then build lineups at the end of it. So if you are joining me late, or if you watch the beginning of this and you'd like me to build some lineups, I can certainly do that for you. Give me two to four golfers you want me to build lineups around, and I will do just that. We'll build lineups here at the end of the video. The beginning part, we'll be going over the strategy portion of it, and then basically the live chat will begin when we start building lineups. So if you don't mind, I might not answer questions right away, but I will later on in the video. Before getting into this any further, let's go over some giveaway reminders. The first one being a subscriber in a weekly giveaway. If you want entries into either the weekly or the monthly giveaway, you got to participate on the channel. So that's commenting here in the live chat, like Joanne, Shalik, Hardin, and Byron. What's going on, everybody? Or commenting on any of the other videos I put out. Well, it was yesterday and today. I think I have a total of 5 of them out there for you. If you go comment on each one of those, you get 1 free entry per video. So that's 5 free entries into the weekly and into the monthly. If we reach that goal you see way over there to the left, we're at 545 out of 555 or 550 subscribers. We need 5 new subscribers, and I'm going to be giving away $50 the very first Monday of the next month. So once the month is over, we'll run this monthly giveaway. If we don't reach the subscriber giveaway, as much as that's a bummer, I'm still giving something away. I'll give a t-shirt away with the SweetSpotDFS logo on it. So that is exactly what we'll be giving away during the monthly. But the weekly, I give away $5 every single week. Those are ran every single Monday of the month for the preview video of the next tournament. So again, if you want entries into this giveaway, it's free money. All you gotta do is participate. So that's one giveaway. The second giveaway is a prize picks giveaway. If you're in a state that allows you to play prize picks, sign up using the promo code SweetSpot and put $20 in your account. I'm gonna give you $20 back. That way you get to play it for free. Plus prize picks is gonna match your deposit up to $100. So that 20 turns into 40, really just requires that initial sign up information. There is a link in the description below that'll send you to the homepage. I mean, the least amount of typing you have to do is perfect. And then once you hit sign up, boom, the SweetSpot promo code's already populated there too. So you don't even have to do any of that. We got all the hard stuff out of the way for you. And every Friday, by the way, they have a protected flex, meaning if you put 20 bucks in and you make a 4, 5, 6 pick, well, I don't know what they call it, picks. You just do a pick. You got to watch out some of the words with prize picks. It's not a bet. Make sure you don't say it's a bet. But anyways, you make a selection with 6 picks or 5 picks or 4 picks. You're going to get your $20 back if it doesn't hit. Otherwise, it will. It's like a lottery ticket, a free lottery ticket. It's pretty awesome. Again, there's a link in the description for that. Plus, again, I'm basically letting you play this for free if you put 20 bucks in your account. So those are all the monetary giveaways. I do have a couple more. The optimizer that I'll be using at the end of the video to build lineups. This is available to you. Be subscribed, comment here in the live chat, or comment on any of my videos, and then email me right there, sweetspotdfs@gmail.com, and I will send it your way. Just say, hey man, I'd like to use your optimizer, and I'll send it to you. I'll also have to probably verify if you are subscribed, but most of the people that do reach out, I know are subscribed. So optimizer is available to you, as well as the cheat sheet. If you want to use all the information that I'll be talking about here in the strategy video or what I talked about in the preview video, it's at your disposal. All you got to do is go to the description of this video, click that link that says cheat sheet, brings you straight here. If you want to copy this information for your own personal use, that's fine. Go to the file menu, make a copy. If not, you can use the filters that I have on here. We have a DraftKings filter for the dream sheet, and then down here at the bucket system, I have a bucket system filter for the bucket system. Now, I will be using both of these filters throughout the video. Again, you can follow along with me by going to the cheat sheet or by clicking the link in the description for this cheat sheet. Those are all of the giveaway reminders that I have. Let's go ahead and get into this thing. Well, first of all, let me acknowledge some people in chat. I said I'd wait till the lineup, but you guys have been blowing up my chat, so I have to get involved here. Good evening, Joanne. Nice to see you. Charlie Harlan says literally anything would be better than last week. Good God, it was bad. Oh my God, it was bad. Yeah, I didn't have a very good 6-6 percentage either. I know that's what you guys were talking about a little bit lower in the chat, but I made nearly all my money back, so that's all that matters, right? It was pretty good. I went heavy on Scheffler and Cam Young lineups, but of course I always hedge myself with winner take-alls and stuff like that. And I was able to recoup. I actually had a really good Millie Maker lineup. I touched the top 300 for a little while, looked really good, but kind of fell apart. I think Saturday was bad. It was a Scheffler lineup. Who did I have Scheffler paired with? I know I had Sepp Straka in it. Chris Kirk, Adam Scott. Who else? Oh man, there was another guy that was close to the top of the leaderboard. I think it was an 8K golfer. I can't remember off the top of my head, but really close. That's what got me most of my money back. I think I got 100 some dollars off of that, 120 or whatever, and I only put like I put 200 something in there. I can't remember, but basically made all my money back. So I was pretty happy with that. Yo, what's going on, Mr. Byron? It was an absolute bloodbath, he says. That is not the word I would say. Oh, I don't even know what my 6-6 percentage was. It was low though, for sure. Especially when you go heavy with, I think 60% of my lineups went Scotty Scheffler and Cam Young. Cam Young didn't make the cut, so 60%, boom, cut right away. Oh man, Charlie Harden, we shouldn't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Saying that stuff out loud. Apparently words are hard right now, so this is a great start to the video. Yeah, 6-6 should be a little bit easier right now. Alrighty. Hey, appreciate that, Joanne. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this thing. We're going to start with the SweetSpot ranks. So if you're on the cheat sheet, go ahead, go to that DraftKings filter on the dream sheet. And once we're here, we're going to go ahead and sort top to bottom. Now, before I do that, one thing to point out, I always like to find the $8,000 golfer, the lowest $8,000 golfer, and that's Taylor Moore. That's line 24. Any guy that's less than $8,000 that jumps up here, I would consider a value. Now, that doesn't mean it's an absolute must play, but it might, you know, it might interest you. It'll probably interest me, if I'm being honest. So let's go ahead and sort this top to bottom. And right away, the first things that I noticed, Colin Morikawa drops. So too does Max Homa. But hey, those are actually two golfers that I would want to drop in my rankings because they haven't really been playing all that great. Interestingly enough, Sungjae shoots up to number 4, and Spieth is basically right where his, well, he moves up one spot from his salary position. I think he was 6th with salary. He's 5th in my rankings. Look at Tommy Fleetwood jumping up there to number 6. That's a good ranking. Let's see, any other, okay, some 7K golfers to mention. Emiliano Grillo, $7,700. Brendan Todd at 78, Benny Ann at 79, and Hayden Buckley. Taylor Moore drops one spot, by the way. I think that's interesting. So remember I said look at line 23. He goes to line 24. So maybe not as valuable, but the 7K golfers that I did highlight, for those that want the optimizer, by the way, these golfers will show up more often than not. So if you didn't want them in there, all you would have to do on the optimizer is lower their value. So I'll just show you how to do that right now. If you didn't like those golfers, so like Brendan Todd, you didn't like him. I mean, the point total I have for him is 1015. You could literally just drop it down 100 points if you didn't like Brendan Todd that much. you know, and then that way the optimizer won't select them that much. But I'm going to keep all the values as they are, and we'll build some lineups here later. We'll make those decisions up when we come to making lineups. Hayden Buckley is really interesting. $7,300 jumps up to what would have been $8,000, or what was $8,000 on the salary leaderboard. I think Hayden Buckley is an interesting play. Obviously, he kills it off the tee. I wouldn't write him off. He's a young kid. We have no idea how well his strategic play is. So we'll see what it looks like when we build lineups and see if he shows up a bunch. But anyways, those are the rankings. Now, if you want to know what go in the rankings, I have kind of my model here over in the columns all the way to the right of the spreadsheet. This is also available to you on the cheat sheet. So if you were to scroll all the way to the right, I have the same point totals here, so you can see what go into it. I'm not hiding anything from you guys. I like to be as transparent as possible. So just to quickly go over what is included in those points, or in the model, I do like to use OWGR because this separates our best golfers from the lower golfers. And I do want to give a little bit of a boost to those guys, because even if they're playing poorly, I still want them to show up in the model because they're obviously talented enough to be high ranked in the OWGR, or low ranked, however you want to look at it. And despite their poor performances as of late, I still want them to pop in the model. So that's what we're doing. There are two grasses. We're looking at bent grass on the greens and Bermuda grass when it comes to approaches. That's all baked into grass 1 stats as well as grass 2 stats. You want to know what these are. Grass 1 average, I'm going back to 2013 and just looking at their average finishing place. And basically, I kind of have a little algorithm that goes behind why the points are the way they are. Basically, your best golfers on this grass are going to have higher points. This is all capped at 50 points. So no golfer will have more than 50 points. So the closer to 50, the better they are on the grass. Top 10 percentage is their success rate in finishing top 10 at bent grass events. Same goes, well, not same goes, but last year grass would just be looking at one calendar year's worth of stats and looking at their average finishing place. I can tell you right now, Scotty Scheffler over the last year, calendar year, has been one of the best in the field on bent grass. So that is grass 1. Grass 2 is the same thing, just only with Bermuda. So take what I just said with grass 1, apply it to grass 2. Just remember, this is bent grass and this is Bermuda. Or one way to, here's bent grass, here's a Bermuda. I do have TH here. That means course history. I just put a tournament history there because of whether it's the PGA Championship or anything else, that's kind of how I apply it. Just know it's course history. We're looking at season long, bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance. These are all your scoring potential points. I'm looking at recent form DraftKings points, the average DraftKings points, their average finishing position, and then their round by round scoring. So again, there's an algorithm that's behind this, or a formula that's behind this, that spits out the points. This is all capped at 50 as well. So the closer you are to 50 with these golfers, the better they are in those stats. I like to water down my recent form stats because I don't want that to pop too much. I don't want a rookie just jumping on the tour, you know, one event in and they have the best stats. So that's what I have for recent form. And then we have season-long DraftKings points, average DraftKings points, I should say, average finishing position. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what this is. This is round-by-round scoring. Then we have round under 70 percentage, cut made percentage, and DK top 10 percentage. This is all calendar year, one full year of stats, not season-long. I'm sorry. If I said season-long, I meant one full calendar year. And that goes into the points. These points will be on the optimizer. So you can see Scotty Scheffler at 12.7 and then Finau at 12.04. There you go. Same thing applies right up here. So keep all of that in mind. And before we go into the next segment, let's see if I can see some things in the chat here. Joanne, if you can't stay on long, that is totally fine. Good luck to you and stay safe. And Ryan goes, Michael Block stats, you mean? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, exactly. But he wouldn't have had good stats because it was the PGA Championship, and no one's stats really looked good there because it was a tough golf course. Okay. The sweet spot ranks then go into the marquee tee times, and that's the next segment to talk about. So if you are following along with me on the cheat sheet, just go to the group rank filter here and sort A to Z. This is your best group in the field, the 3 golfers that are paired together, and it's ranked order all the way down to the worst groups that are in the field. Now, the whole reason I go over this started, over 100 weeks ago. I've been tracking these marquee tee times, and it's the top 9 groups in a field. Over the last 100 weeks, 90% of the time, we have at least 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times that are in the optimal lineup. I think actually it's more than that, because what I was just about to say to go with the ruling is you don't want to pair golfers up from the same group. Now, I believe, I don't have the stats on top with me, but I think there's only been 4 times out of 100 where we've only had either 1 golfer or more than 4 that came from these marquee tee times that are inside the optimal lineup. So basically what that's telling you guys, hey, you can limit your exposure to the golfers that are here. And in fact, you could anchor your lineups around any of these golfers because the stats are on your side. Over 90% of the tournaments that I've been tracking this, at least 2 to 4 golfers have been in the optimal lineup from the marquee tee times. So you want to start here, anchor your lineups here, but also don't play more than 4. Don't play less than 2. That's also part of the rules. The other thing is, don't pair up golfers from the same group. So if you like Tony Finau this week, don't play him with Sung Jae or Colin Morikawa. Now, you probably wouldn't pair up Colin Morikawa with Finau, but you certainly could. Now, last week, we didn't have anyone paired up together that was in the optimal, but we did have, and we didn't have anybody that was paired up that were in the GPP, but we did have Brooks and Scotty playing together Thursday, Friday. Brooks won the tournament. Scotty finished second. So, but Scotty was not in the optimal lineup, and he was also not in the GPP winning lineup. So there are opportunities to make money pairing these golfers up. So although I say that, like don't pair them up, the whole premise is to hit the optimal lineup, right? That's my whole shtick, is to hit the optimal lineup. If you want to do a cash game, go ahead, pair these guys up together. If you want to win a GPP, you can also pair these guys up together because we've seen it. We saw it at the Byron Nelson. There were 2 guys from the same group in the GPP winning lineup, but there was a huge gap between the optimal lineup as well as the GPP winning lineup. Meaning you could have built a better lineup that didn't pair those guys up together. That's kind of the whole process. So find 2 to 4 golfers that you want to pair your lineups or put in your lineups and make sure they're not in the same group. So I thought this was interesting. Here are some things that I saw before jumping on. This whole group right here, and I always create a dummy lineup, and it's just an eyeball test. I had 3 of these golfers in my dummy lineup. I had Victor, Cam Davis, and Kurt Kitayama. It was like, oh man, that sucks. Now I only point this group out first because it was in my dummy lineup. And a dummy lineup is just something you reserve, right? Again, it's the eyeball test for me. It's like, these golfers look good together. But now that they're paired up, I'm not going to be playing them together. And I don't even care. Even if it's an eyeball test, I'm going to go by the numbers. I'm not playing these guys together. Another group that I think is really interesting. So Ricky Fowler is also in my dummy group or dummy lineup. Tommy Fleetwood's someone I like. I want to play Tommy Fleetwood, but I will not be pairing him up with Ricky Fowler or with Tom Hoagie. And I'm totally cool with that. I really like Scotty Scheffler this week. I was not on Sam Burns. I know Shot Like Harden, you would like Sam Burns. I believe in one of your comments in my videos, you said you like Scotty and Burns together. Well, unfortunately, they're playing together. Now, you can take the risk and play them in your lineups. So be it. Not a big deal. But I certainly won't be. It'll either be Scheffler or Burns, and I guarantee you're going to choose Burns over Scheffler any day of the week. I really thought this next group was extremely interesting. Spieth, Rose, and Kirk. I believe I said in my preview video, I want to put together both Spieth and Rose in a lineup. Oh, well, I said Spieth, Rose, and Tommy Fleetwood. Those were the golfers that were in the 9K range that I wanted to pair up with either Scottie Scheffler or Victor Hovland. Well, I can certainly, you know, if I go Scottie or Victor, I can choose between Spieth, Rose, or Fleetwood. No problem. But I also said I'm going to also play some lineups that don't have a 10K golfer in it. I'm going to start with Spieth, and maybe I'll add in Rose and Fleetwood. Well, now I won't be. Maybe I will with one. Maybe I will with one. One of my lineups, that is. I'll build one lineup because obviously I build over 100 lineups. I don't mind taking a risk with the Spieth Rose lineup, you know, just one instance of that. That's fine. And Ryan in the chat says winner in that group. Hey man, I think sure. I just want the optimal lineup. So if that does include if that does mean that Spieth or Rose win the line or win the tournament, all the better, because I will be rostering both those guys. I'll also be rostering Chris Kirk, but I really like Rose and I really like Spieth. So I would say, instead of saying the winners in that group, I think you get one optimal golfer in that group, someone that will be in the optimal lineup. So that's kind of how I think of that group. I definitely will be targeting this one quite a bit when I build my lineups. So I really like Spieth this week. I mean, I've been joking around with people on Twitter saying I'm probably going to go like 90% on Spieth, regardless of his wrist injury. I'm going to be extremely aggressive this week, and I don't mind, you know, playing Spieth. It just like there's too many trends too many performance trends, by the way, not just trends, performance trends that would indicate that this is a Spieth week. And hey, if it's Rose that wins, that's wonderful too, because I'll have my fair share of Rose as well. Not with 90% Spieth. That's kind of okay. So I kind of fibbed. I'll probably play like 40% Spieth, because I do want access to Rose, and I wouldn't mind playing Rose at like 30%. So I need some wiggle room. I'm not just going to completely drawn out Rose, and I'm going to follow the rules that I set out. Don't play more than 2 to 4 golfers from any of these groups, or choose 2 to 4 golfers and don't pair anyone up together. So I will be following those rules. So basically for you out there, when you want me to build some lineups, from this list, these 9 groups, find 2 to 4 golfers you want me to build lineups with at the end of this video, and I'll do just that. So I already know who I'm interested in playing. I mean, first of all, I really like Cam Davis, and I also really like Victor Hovland. So I will be having my fair share of Victor Hovland and probably Spieth lineups, and I'll also be having my fair share of Scottie and Cam Davis lineups. Does not matter to me. Like there's some good combos that I really, really like this week. And those are just a couple of them. So those are the marquee tee times. Again, find 2 to 4 golfers from here and anchor your lineups around them. If you want me to build lineups with any of these guys, go ahead and put those 2 to 4 golfers in the chat, and I'll build lineups later on using those 2 to 4 golfers. Okay, the last piece that I'm going to cover are the anchor buckets. If you're still following along with me on the cheat sheet, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is just go sort from salaries top to bottom. Just the easiest way to do this. So that way, you know, it's back in the salary order that DraftKings had it. And go to the bucket system page. Put a filter on that. Make sure we have all of the buckets selected. I always do this every single week. Have to unclear or select all. The first thing to do, go right into this max projection filter, and we're going to go filter by condition, greater than or equal to 2. This is going to ensure that we have to select at least 1 from the bucket, because you can see all the mins now are 1. I've done this long enough that I know that's how it works. So this is greater than 2. And then when it comes to the bucket totals, because I don't want this strategy video to be, well, it's already going to be hours long because we're going to have, you know, great chat participation, right? I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to go bucket by bucket, but technically these are all of your anchor buckets right here. There's a total of 17 of them. However, what I want to do in this video is just clear everything out, and I'm going to select less than 30. So I'm basically going to go and, well, maybe I do less than 20. How about this? We'll do less than 30, and we won't talk about these two buckets right here. I'm kind of looking at my conservative projections over here. Actually, we won't talk about these two, and we won't talk about this one. We'll talk about the other ones. So you could go in here and remove some of these if you wanted to, but I think we'll remember which ones they are. So last year ones, I talked about this pretty heavily in the preview video. Last year ones, the projections 1 to 3, I think, 1 to 4, 1 to 3. So how the projections work are they're my projections, and it's really just a formula that's driven. How many we should expect to finish inside the top 10 from this bucket? There's a lot of good names. You've got Scheffler, you got Finau, Spieth, Burns, Sungjae, Kirk, all 9K and above. We also have Cam Davis here. And that's really all I'm going to talk about. But the projection is 1 to 3. There are times that there are more than 3 golfers will finish inside the top 10. There are also times where we'll have 0 finish inside the top 10 from this group. I almost would put a 100, I think I'll put a 100% guarantee that we'll have at least one golfer from this bucket inside the top 10. And I'll put a 95% guarantee that one of them will be in the optimal lineup. So with that being said, I'm going to start here finding golfers that I want to anchor my lineups around. And like for me, it's Scotty Scheffler, pretty easy. Jordan Spieth, like if I'm ranking this in my own head, it goes 1, like how I want to put in my lineups. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my top 4. I would go that way. So I want to anchor a lot of my lineups around Scheffler, but the ones that I'm not playing with Scheffler, I'm going to go ahead and put with Cam Davis. Or I should say Jordan Spieth, and then Cam Davis, and then Sungjae. So those are the 4 that I really like from this group, but I wouldn't knock any of these 7K and below golfers. These are great additions to add to your team. I generally call this the glue that holds the 10K and 6K golfers together. That's kind of how I feel about the 7K range. Very important range, by the way. So that's the first anchor bucket. Remember, we're going to skip these 2, and we'll go to the last week ones. Now, if you want to know what last year ones are, I'm sure most of you guys already know, but these are your top 20 finishes at this event last year. The last week 1 bucket are top 20 finishes from last week's event, which was the PGA Championship. And I covered this in the preview video, just to go over it once again. From the preview, if we're looking at this bucket right here, 2019 to 2022, last week ones have produced at least one golfer. Yeah, last week ones have produced at least one golfer to finish inside the top 10. Pretty darn close to one golfer being inside the top 5 every single year as well. So this next bucket, I think, is an important one. If you're following along with me on the cheat sheet, make sure you select everyone from the last year bucket, and then go to the last week, clear everything out, and select last week 1. There are even less golfers in this bucket. There are 10 to be exact. Now, if you're wondering, well, what does that look like compared to other years? Well, I do have that in the bucket system. You can look at this section right here. We normally see about 13 golfers in this bucket. We only have 10 this year. So that is something to be a little concerned about, but all of that is baked into my projections. So this 1 to 3, I feel very comfortable with. I have no issue thinking there's going to be at least one golfer from this bucket to be inside the top 10. And once again, Scotty Scheffler's up there. Trying to see. So Scotty Scheffler, Cam Davis. Those are the only 2 golfers that were in both the last year 1 and last week 1. So Scotty's at 11. Cam Davis is at 8. How about this? Let's look at previous years to see who finished top 20 at the Charles Schwab Challenge the year before, as well as top 20 at the PGA Championship. So we got 3 years to look at. 2022. So we'll highlight this and I'll highlight this. Do we see any top 20s from the year before and the week before? No, we do not. Actually, why don't I do this? We can figure this out pretty quickly. I'll go less than or equal to 20. Then we can go less than or equal to 20. Or I can just select everything that's under 20. That's fine. We can do it this way. There were 3 golfers, Gooch, Answer, and Rose. And of those golfers, only Gooch finished inside or made the cut. Now, Abe Answer and Justin Rose, I don't really consider those. I mean, sure, Rose I like a lot, but I wouldn't really consider those like Scotty Scheffler. That's not a Scotty Scheffler caliber player, but Cam Davis, on the other hand, maybe we pump our brakes because of that. Let's see here. 2021, if I do the same thing, we'll look at all of our top 20 finishers from the year before, and then top 20 finishes from the week before. So this is kind of your combo. Okay. So our 10K golfer, remember we didn't have one in 2022. Pretty close, but not quite. Our 10K golfer finished inside the top 15. We also had Abe Answer, by the way. So Abe 1 year was near the same price, right? $9,300. Yeah, $9,300 in 2022. In 2021, Abe was $9,700. He finished top 20. So too did Corey Connors, and so too did Justin Rose. So you have Rose that top 20'd 1 year, and then you have Rose that missed the cut 1 year. Is there anything we can decipher from Rose 1 year to the other? So top 20, decent recent form. Don't really have to look at course history. 2022, decent recent form, top 20. So I don't know, man. I do like Rose. I'm not saying, I'm just like looking at the trends here, and it's difficult to decipher. Not quite sure how I feel about that. Anyways, 2019 would be the last year. Let's see if we can find any deciding factors here. So I'll just filter. We don't have any top 20s. Look at this. No top 20s the week before. How about this? We'll just sort like that. So we have some good finishes. Let's just say, you know, top 30 finishes. Decent results. Nothing to like ride home about. There's no top 10s from any of these. Everything was outside the top 10. 2021, we had 14th place and 20th place finishes. 2022, we only had a 27th place finish. So maybe this is us pumping the brakes, right? Like 2023, like I said, we have Scotty that was one of those guys. I shouldn't say was. He is one of those guys. And it's just him and Cam Davis. Now, every year's different. There isn't anything to really like, you know, guarantee with this information, but it's always interesting. To me, it's always interesting to go over because having good, you know, like say, what tends to happen with people who get a bit too comfortable? They get complacent sometimes, or we could almost say most of the time. Does having a top 20 finish from the year before and a top 20 finish the week before make you a little complacent? Now, this would be a combo in other tournaments that actually proved to be kind of fruitful, like something that, you know, you shouldn't be concerned about. You want to play that combination because I won't lie. I know I've done this in the past where I used to go over these combinations. This is one of those combinations that shows up inside the top 10 more often than not. So the fact that it's not showing up at the Charles Schwab Challenge could tell us one of 3 things. One, this tournament might be too hard, or it might be following a, you know, obviously the PGA Championship where golfers might be a bit fatigued, especially those that finish inside the top 20 the week before. Or it could be just be Let's see, what was in my head? It was that with the fatigue part. Could just be happenstance. You know, it might not even be that big of a deal. It could just be random, and it could also be down to the quality of player. Like, Scotty Scheffler is kind of a generational talent. I wouldn't say Cam Davis is so much, but I kind of like the rise of Cam Davis. I think he could probably break that mold of not finishing inside the top 10. There's also another reason that I kind of stepped away from doing combos, is because if I were to just remove all of these filters and just show you, so yeah, okay, that combo isn't super great, but if I sort by, you know, finishes, you have three optimal lineup golfers, including Cam Davis last year, that finished top 20 at the PGA. So not always does it matter. Oh, I'm sorry, Cam Davis did not finish top 20 at the PGA, but Sam Burns and Davis Riley did. I mean, there's some missed cuts down here you have to consider. That top 20 the week before, including 2 that top 20 the year before. So it's really like, it's, what are you comfortable with? Would you just rather look at the last week stat? That's fine. I mean, that's kind of like, I think you have to take a full-on look. You have to consider last week. Anything that was a top 20 last week, is it actually a good stat? But if you do want to include the combination, which, you know, eventually when I get a website up and running, I will be doing, I'll be looking at combinations just to see which ones work the best. I'm going to be using that. Like Charlie Hoffman in 2021, he topped 20 the PGA Championship and finished 3rd at the Charles Schwab Challenge. He did not have a top 20 finish. Jordan Spieth and Jason Kokrak did have a top 20 finish the year before, and they finished 1 and 2. Just didn't have a really good finish at the PGA. So that's also something we could also consider. And then what did we have in 2019? I'll clear this out and we'll sort for results down. Kevin Na won. He had top 20 the year before. So too did Putnam, and so did CT Pan. And they all played at the PGA. They didn't have really good stats. So maybe one way to look at this is, we do want to find guys who top 20 the year before, but did not top 20 the week before. There are several routes we can take with this. So again, if I go back to 2023, you know, let's sort from this way. You know, our golfers like Sungjae, I mean, hey, as I see this, I'm just like, right away, I'm like, yeah, Sungjae's the guy. I want to play Sungjae now. That miscut the week before, and then he's top 20. That works out pretty well. So too does Christian Bezuidenhout and Andrew Putnam. I actually do like Andrew Putnam this week. Jordan Spieth is up there. I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose we could have sorted this and then this. Oh, it still does the same thing. Oh yeah, because of actual finishes. I was gonna call him Scotty Burns. Sam Burns, he missed the cut at the PGA. And I'm sorry. He's just another person. I thought this was a result thing. Sam Burns could be considered. Brennan Todd, Riley Stallings, Sungjae Bezuidenhout Putnam. How about Kirk Spieth? You know, like, we do see a lot of guys from the top 20 the year before playing at the PGA Championship and having a good finish at the Charles Schwab Challenge. Now, this could just be all mental gymnastics that we're trying to do in order to make these things work, but it's also worth considerations. There's a lot of food for thought there. Anyways, going back, yeah, I do like Scotty and I do like Cam Davis, but I'm kind of really liking Victor Hovland now. Like, Victor was already a guy that I really liked. Last year, he finished 20th place. 21st place, I should say. That seems pretty decent. I kind of like Rose a little bit more. You know, the projection for this bucket, by the way, is 1 to 3. So we want 1 to 3 golfers from this bucket. It's just, yeah. Maybe it's time for me to also consider fading Scotty Scheffler. From what I just went, when the things I just went over, I think give me enough reason outside of just his salary to not want to anchor my lineups around Scotty. Like the equity between having like Hovland and Rose in my lineup or Hovland Fleetwood, if I can do, I forget if they're paired up together or not, but yeah, kind of liking that a little bit more. I do also really like Cam Davis, so I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. 1 to 3 though. Don't play more than 3, or yeah, don't play more than 3 golfers. Try to find one that you want to pair around. And then if you like 2 or 3 golfers, feel free. Feel free to pair them up with anybody. Let me check chat. I saw a few messages come in. Ryan goes, his wrist didn't hurt him at a hard track playing 4 rounds. Yeah, but it was also a major championship, so you're probably just gonna suck it up and play it anyways. What y'all think about Cam Davis this week? I like Cam Davis. Shot Like Harden likes Cam Davis. Alex McCullough goes, not sure how long I'll be in chat tonight because of a busy week, but good luck everyone this week. Hey, good luck to you too, man. Jeff, we will get to 6K names. By the way, anytime I go through these anchor buckets, you see some 6K names. Hey, feel comfortable playing any of them. Probably not Michael Block, though. I wouldn't. Minwoo Lee. Byron, do we like Minwoo Lee? Or is that face like, meh, I don't think so. Sean McKeel, MFN. Sean McKeel. That's the guy that I'm playing this week, for sure. Let's see here. Okay, going to the next anchor bucket. We're actually going to skip last week 2 and go right into last week 5. Hey, missing the cut at the PGA Championship is kind of a good sign. Now, there are usually a lot of golfers that show up in that bucket. We have just about the same amount. Pretty healthy strength of field points that go towards it, and 100% frequency rate, meaning there's at least one every single year that have finished inside the top 10 from this bucket. So let's take a look at who those guys are. Remember, this is the last week 5 bucket, which means missed cuts and withdraws. Sam Burns, Sung Jae, we were just talking about these golfers in the previous bucket. Really, or the combinations. Really liking these guys a little bit more now. I don't mind Siwoo Kim. Ricky Fowler seems like a pretty decent choice. Brendan Todd once again. So that was another bucket that we could choose from. These all seem pretty enticing, to say the least. And then our boy Byron's Christian Bezadenhout. This is your guy, man. I saw your. I was able to catch a little bit of your video. I was doing some things. Couldn't come in and chat though, so I watched like the first 30 minutes of it on replay. I liked the graphic you had for him. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Minwoo either. It will be interesting to watch him go around this track. Obviously, he's got a bomber narrative that goes with him, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's just a bomber. We just have seen him on tracks where he gets to unload his driver every single day, or every single hole. So we'll see. It might be interesting. Emiliano Grillo shows up. That's a golfer that I'm interested. He's in one of the... Where did we see him? I can't remember what we were talking about earlier on. Man, I like Grillo regardless. And then if you want some 6K names, Mr. Jeffrey, I like Stallings. I like Griffin. I like Shank. Could probably do away with Norin. Nick Hardy seems like a decent choice on bent grass greens, but Bermuda, I would probably stay away from him. And then, hey man, Jimmy Walker, I guess I don't mind going back to Jimmy Walker. Although I think this is a lot of tournaments in a row for him, or a lot of tournaments within the last 7 weeks. Might be a bit fatigued. And then I really don't care about anyone else that's in the 6K range here. Really liking Harris English this week. This makes me feel more comfortable playing Harris. I also like Brendan Todd. I do like Fowler this week, and then Sung Jae Burns. I'm starting to fall more in love with playing Sung Jae this week than I did in the preview video. So yeah, one anchor bucket again. The projection's 1 to 3. Do not play more than 3 guys here. Try to select at least one. because the salary relief here, I think, is just fine. You know, I think you can go ahead and make some lineups here. And Byron goes, Todd and Bezzy full send this week. Yeah. If there was ever a moment, ever a time where we could say those words, it would be covering the bucket system. Like, I don't think I'd ever say Brendan Todd and Bezaden Hote in the same sentence saying good plays this week. Probably just wouldn't. I wouldn't get there. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely Byron. If I'm giving you more confidence in playing these two, there you go, man. It's well deserved. Going to the next bucket, course history 2s. 1 to 3 is a projection here, and these are guys with pretty decent course history. So again, if you're following with me on the cheat sheet, just make sure all filters are removed. You're selecting everybody. Then we go right into course history 2s, and Victor Hovland's our top guy, followed by Sammy Burns, Justin Rose, Tommy Fleetwood, Chris Kirk, our guy Cam Davis, Brian Harmon, Kurt Kitayama, Brendan Todd once again, so the Todd father shows up, Emiliano Grillo, Alex Smalley, and then a bunch of 6K golfers. So again, just to cover those 6K golfers for Jeff Usray, Ben Martin, I think, is a decent choice. I also don't mind going to someone like Lee Hodges. Probably stay away from Adam Long. Do not mind Chad Ramey. Luke Donald, this would be a pretty good course for him, I'd imagine. Short ball hitter. He's very strategic. I think you need to be a strategist around this golf course. This is probably I'd say this is one of his best bets to do well, would be Luke Donald. That doesn't mean you play him because it's one of his best bets, but hey, there's a time to play him. This might be it. And then Lingmerth and Knox. I don't mind any of those guys. Although, I mean, I said I didn't care for Lingmerth in the last bucket I went over. I also don't care about him here, but he's now in 2 buckets that I didn't see him in before. Not saying it's a guarantee or that it's, you know, whatever. We're still going to see 5, 6 of these guys miss the cut in this bucket. But if you needed a reason to play either one of them, there you go. Personally, Victor, I like a lot. I mean, Sam Burns has now been in 2 buckets that I think we want to select from. I have a hard time getting around to Sam Burns, although it's not terrible. I really like Rose. I really like Fleetwood. I'm probably anchoring my lineups around one of these 2 guys, regardless. I mean, I said this right from the marquee tee times. Rose and Fleetwood seem like a really, really good. One of those guys seem really good to anchor around. I don't think I'm going to do both, but I think at least one of them seems pretty good. And like, so if you wanted to build a lineup, like in my opinion, Hovland, let's see, I forget who Cam Davis was. Yeah, so Cam Davis and Hovland are paired up together in a marquee tee time, meaning I won't be playing those 2 guys together. But if I did Hovland Rose or Hovland Fleetwood, I'm happier than hell playing those guys. If I don't want Hovland and say I want Scotty Scheffler, or maybe I just start in the 9K range, having Fleetwood and Cam Davis in my lineups to go with Brendan Todd seems pretty darn good. Or maybe we remove those and then put in Justin Rose. Those 3 golfers seem pretty decent as well to anchor your lineups around. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes when building lineups. Shot Like Harden's in the chat agreeing with Mr. Byron, saying he likes Bezzy and Brendan Todd. Hey, man. The buckets say so, then I would go with the buckets. I don't mind. I don't mind either one of them. Recent form 2s. This is a 1 to 4. The projection's 1 to 4. So we can play up to 4 of these guys. And I already forgot because I have a really bad short-term memory. Recent form 2s. So 1 to 4 is the projection. And look at that. We got Hovland up there once again. Finau, Hovland, Spieth, him. Like those guys. There's our guy Cam Davis once again. So what is Cam Davis in all? Cam Davis is in every single anchor bucket that we've already discussed. You know what? He's in every single anchor bucket, because if I were to spread this out to everything, we're going to see strokes gained 3 golfers there as well. So strokes gained 3 is an anchor bucket. Remember, I like to narrow the amount of golfers we talk about just for the sake of the video. Well, technically he is in an anchor bucket. So for the strokes gain buckets, and that's the one that we're not talking about. However, he's in every single one. Last week 1, last year 1, recent form 2, course history 2. Those are all anchor buckets. So is strokes gain 3, and he's in a marquee tee time. Remember, I've done this enough times. Oh, Byron, hold on. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Shot like Harden knows this. We've done this enough times to know that this doesn't guarantee a top 10. However, it just increases his chance to be inside the top 10, just based off of performance trends. That's all the bucket system is a performance trend. So Cam Davis, feeling really good. And Byron, I was able to get Cam Davis round 4 Rainmaker cards for $12.50. I think you can get them cheaper than $18 right now. So I'm feeling very confident with that. I'm hoping he does well here, and I can sell some of those cards for a decent profit. That's what I'm looking forward to. So anyways, I'll be playing him in Rainmakers plenty. Love Cam Davis. And by the way, Byron, I can't roll with you and Joel up there spending $60, $70, $80 on a card. I don't think I've spent more than, I think I spent I bought Chris Kirk at $18 or something. I think that's it. I think that's all that, that's the highest that I'm going to go. But with all these franchise bucks that come my way, I just got another one today. The 2 days in a row, by the way. Yesterday I got $20 and today I got $15. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't care. 35 free bucks in my account to buy more cards. Yeah, I'll do it. And I don't have a single rare, there's not a card rarer than rare in my portfolio. It's weird. It's weird. I don't get it, but I'm not complaining. It's been fun. And by the way, for those that are interested, tomorrow I'm going to be working on an optimizer for Rainmaker cards. It's going to select 5 golfers, and it's not going to take into account salary because we don't have to care about salary. So I'm hoping it's going to be fantastic because I'm starting to get too many cards that it's hard to like piece together, and I still want to piece together lineups that make sense. Unlike you and Joel, who are going to put 5 of the best golfers in. Well, guess what? I'm sorry to say this, but you're still going to get missed cuts out of that. But I want to build lineups based off the bucket system. And that's going to include some of the low price guys, because those guys are going to finish inside the top 10 every once in a while too. You know what I'm saying? I understand though. I get it. I would put all my best cards together. Anyways, moving on. Cam Davis, every single anchor bucket. But there's a bunch of good golfers to build lineups with, honestly. Remember the projection's 1 to 4. So if you like up to 4 golfers from this bucket, I encourage it. How about a Hovland Sungjae Im start? How are we liking that? Do we start lineups that way? That seems pretty fantastic. And I also don't mind starting Spieth and Sungjae Im either. That seems all right too. What I won't be doing is Finau and Im because they are in group 1, the very top group. Alex McCullough, I see your Brennan Todd conversation. We were literally just talking about him like 5 minutes ago. Byron, back 9 bets. Back 9 bets, Byron. That alliteration's beautiful. He loves Brennan Todd. Shot like Harden from the chat loves Brennan Todd. I don't mind Brennan Todd. I'll be playing probably 16%. I'll put my exposure to 16%, and he'll probably show up in 16% of my lineup. So yeah, Brennan Todd seems like a very good play. Buckets agree with him. The community agrees with him. I mean, Byron agrees with him. Well, you better be careful, Byron. Are you in curse territory, by the way? Are we close to that? I'm not sure, man. All right. So again, 1 to 4 is your projection. A lot of good golfers. I like Fowler. I like everyone here. We'll just let the optimizer do its thing when we get there. So that was recent form 2. We're not going to talk about salary 1, but if it was any, if you needed any comfort in playing a 10K golfer, the bucket system is projecting 1 to 3 golfers from the 10K range to finish inside the top 10. We have 5 this week, where we normally see 5. Pretty good chance a 10K golfer is going to finish inside the top 10. Of course, you want a 10K golfer to finish inside the top 5 in order to, you know, feel good that he's going to return value, you know, that you have a chance to win a GPP. But guess what? Top 10 is the top 10. If you mix in the right guys with one of the 10K golfers, that's all that matters, honestly. If you needed more stats, 33% of the time you have an optimal lineup guy from the 10K range. 10K range also produces, this is all 10K golfers, by the way, that have ever played this event dating back to 2017. 23% of them finish inside the top 5. Now, the frequency here is the minimum 0, the max is 2. So you have to keep that in mind. There has been a moment where we haven't had one inside the top 5, but we have seen one inside the top 10 every single year. So if I go to buckets and we go to our salaries, just to show you what that looks like, here's our top 5 table. Here are all your 10Ks. So only one year, and that was 2019, where we didn't see a top 5. For our top 10 salaries right here, for 10K golfers, we've only had one in 2021 and one in 2019. Only that 2019 was the one that we don't have a top 5. So, and then optimal lineups, if I scroll down here, yeah, it's a bit dicey. Hold on a second. Let's do some updates really quick. I should have seen this before. Q. Our numbers might actually change. 2019 was what? That was N. I wasn't a Charlie Carden. I was not thinking about playing Sung Jae until I got to this part of the video. I really hadn't been doing the research to figure out, should I play Sung Jae or not. I've been so headstrong in wanting to play Scotty and Spieth that I just kind of disregarded everyone else. But the fact is, it's looking like Sung Jae is going to be the top 9K golfer for me. I do like Spieth though. It's hard for me not to play Spieth. One more update, and I think we are Gucci. OONN. There we go. So now it gets updated of all 10K golfers in the optimal lineup. 2 years we didn't have it. 2020, where they're coming back from COVID. We can count that year, kind of just disregard it. And 2019. So in my humble opinion, a 10K golfer is going to be in the optimal lineup this week. I just don't see it any other way. I think that's where we start. We have to put a 10K golfer in our lineups. So I will be doing that. I just don't know which one exactly. I like Hovland a lot, and Scotty a lot. The other guys don't really care so much, but kind of like it. And then strokes gain 1. These are all your golfers with the best strokes gain stats. We have 14 of them in the field this week, where we normally see 12. The projection's 1 to 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. If you're following with me on the cheat sheet, make sure you select everybody, remove any of the filters. And then the easy way to do this is just sort A to Z. I have it color coordinated on here by strokes gain stats. So here are all your strokes gain 1 golfers in the dark green up here. Some pretty good names. Finau and Homa. I don't want to start there with either of these guys. But then there's our guy, Jordan Spieth, Sung Jae Im. Remember, the projection's 1 to 3. So if you just like one of these guys, that's fine. You don't have to play more than one. But kind of like Sung Jae. Also like Tommy Fleetwood. So I like the 3 9Ks right here. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys is in the optimal lineup. Chris Kirk. There's our boy Fowler. Like Fowler as well. And then I just don't care for the rest of these guys, but I don't mind sprinkling them in here and there. So that is the last anchor bucket to consider. Remember, the projection's 1 to 3. to be inside the top 10. Not that you had to pick 1 to 3 golfers. You really don't have to, because literally it could be Finau and Homa that finish inside the top 10. Scotty and Hovland could also finish inside the top 10 and score more points than these guys. And then you can't play Finau and Homa together, although the bucket projection would be satisfied. It would be correct, but you just can't do it. So just remember that. I always forget to mention that, and I always get reminded every year, or I should say every week, where I'm like, well, what the heck? The buckets were like 34 to 36 correct, or 36 out of 36 correct, but like, why couldn't, you know, of all the 100 lineups I built that follow the bucket system, why wasn't one of them really good? And it's because, well, yeah, these did hit, but they weren't in an optimal lineup. They weren't in a GPP winning lineup, but they were inside the top 10. So sometimes top 10s aren't good enough. Like, it's crazy, but it's the easiest way to, you know, if we go top 5, it becomes too narrow to figure out how many golfers to select and stuff like that. So that's why we use top 10. Easy. So there we go. We got through all the anchor buckets. Did you see golfers that you wanted to play around? Like, who are some of your golfers you would like lineups built around? Select 2 to 4 golfers. We'll build some lineups. I'm gonna go ahead, throw up the optimizer. I'm gonna put some music on. I gotta turn my volume down. And if the music's too loud for you guys, let me know. I just like to break up the monotony a little bit. Okay, so Byron goes, LOL, curses don't exist, but I may just spontaneously combust into a million pieces of bad luck if I sneeze wrong. I mean, I've not been keeping track of this, Byron, but I hear you talk about it and saying how bad your luck is. You're not getting any winners. I'm just taking your word for it. Going back to Sung Jae and Fowler. Okay. Shelly Karn says that. McCullough goes, okay, honest thoughts then on Peter Malnati. T4 at Pebble seems to do well in Texas. Greg Ranch Valero. Yeah, I mean, the only issue I have with Malnati is, like, last year and the year before, you could depend on him getting like one top 20, one top 10. But for whatever reason, this year, he's not that good. I don't know what really is going on with Malnati. What is he, like $6,100, something like that? He's down here somewhere, right? Right here. 6,100. 107 in my model out of 120 golfers. Not super good course history. 73.75 since 2013. That's what his average finishing position is here. And grass stats, not super good, although he does have a 3% top 10 success rate. It's not terrible for like a 6K golfer. You do have Justin Lauer that's right above him that I'd probably select over Malnati. And I also would probably select Russell Knox over Peter Malnati. And then this shouldn't say NA, this should say Bermuda. So let's go ahead and make that update. Just didn't consider it. Okay. Yeah, Peter Malnati with Bermuda stats, 5%. So he's better on Bermuda than he is on bent grass. And I believe he's a good putter for the most part, right? If we go to his strokes gained stats. This is 1 full year worth of stats. Yeah, so he's good around the green. Hate when that happens. Stupid spreadsheets. Here are his strokes gained stats. So pretty decent around the green and putting, but if he's good on Bermuda and not so good on bent grass, we probably penalize him a little bit. So yeah, I mean, the more I see this, if I'm playing 100 lineups, I don't mind taking the risk of playing one lineup with him in it. If that lineup comes around, like, because I randomize my lineups when I put them into my contest selections. If Hiro Malnati shows up as one of my high entry fee contests, I will not play them. No way. Hey, 6K range, that is a lotto ticket. Don't get me wrong. And that'd be a perfect lotto ticket with Peter Malnati because not a lot of people will play him. But I don't feel comfortable playing him. I would play Justin Lauer though. And I would play, I would consider Russell Knox. Probably wouldn't, but yeah. I like Justin Lauer that much better in that $6,100 range. Way more upside with him than Peter Malnati. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Peter Malnati. Not a terrible course fit, by the way, Jeff. Sorry, Alex. I know through our emails, you know, you like to look at course fits and stuff like that. I think that's a wonderful way of doing it. I really haven't been able to dig down into stuff like that, but if you're seeing a trend, hey man, point it out. I'd love to hear it. I think course fits with bucket system, that'd be a hell of a thing to do. I'd love to do that. Jeff goes, Chef, Rose, Davis, Todd, Seabez hunting a 6th. Do you want me to put those in a lineup and see if it works? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 golfers. Do you want me to anchor those 5 golfers around in a lineup? Let's do it. Let's see if it works. So we got Scheffler, Rose. Every Rose has a Scheffler, right? Cammy Boy Davis. Todd. Okay, so I don't think this is going to work just by salary alone. I think this is way too expensive. Yeah, we'd have what, $5,100 left. So that doesn't work. Let's see. Let's do just, we'll interchange Todd and Seabez. So I'll take Seabez out and see if we can build a lineup. We can't, unfortunately. Can we do it with Seabez? We can. We can build one with Seabez. You can do Ben Griffin and Kevin Kisner with those 4. 6,100 and well, we'll see. We can do a couple 6Ks in this range. See if it spits anything out. There we go. There we go. Justin Lauer. I told you I'd rather play Justin Lauer. He's showing up in this group with Ben. I like Ben Griffin too. You know what? I'm just going to save this one for the hell of it. I'm going to put it in a winner take all and see if it takes anything down. Do our first saved lineup. And I'm going to highlight it red as in danger. Don't play this lineup. Hey, that's awesome. Justin Lauer, great. Carl Fox goes Palmer, Rogers, and Hovland, please. You got it. That's Ryan Palmer, right? I don't think there's another Palmer. And Patrick Rogers? Rory Sabatini's at min price, huh? Very interesting. Okay. Well, look at this lineup, Carl. We got Hovland with Finau. That's crazy. Ryan Palmer ends up being my lowest ranked golfer from the group. I'm gonna go ahead and say no to Finau. I don't. Hey, the 10K range has projected 1 to 3 golfers to finish inside the top 10, but I don't think I can go here. There we go. This is exactly what I'd want to see. Hovland, Im, Brendan Todd, Patrick Rogers, Ryan Palmer, and Ben Griffin. That's a sexy lineup. Is Shot Like Hearn here? Do we count this as a sexy lineup? He's the judge. I don't make up the rules. I think he does. 49.4, so we're leaving $600 on the table. Seems like a decent GPP lineup, so I'll mark that as red as well. Interesting. So Palmer is just going to continue to be the low-ranked guy. Ben Griffin almost rates out better than Patrick Rogers, but I'll take out Ben Griffin. Yeah, I like it too. Just a reminder for everyone in chat, there's a 10-second delay between me and you. So you hear things 10 seconds later than when I say it. So if I'm reacting to you in chat, it's going to always be at least 10 seconds later. Victor Hovland, Sungjae, Brennan Todd, Patrick Rogers, Palmer, and Noren. There's no way that I would rate out Noren higher than Palmer. So I'm actually going to give... I don't want to give Palmer really that much of a raise. I'm going to bring down Alex Noren. 891? How about 871? And no. Qualifications of the second lineup solely depend on... Yes, exactly. Okay. What the hell is this lineup? Scheffler, Hovland, Rogers, Palmer, Putnam, Lauer. Charlie Carden, I don't know if I should be afraid of this lineup or if I should be happy, but I'm kind of aroused. I forget there's a movie quote like that. This seems like a good Justin Lauer track. Can anyone in the chat confirm that? Lauer is a plotter from what I know. Doesn't hit the ball super far. Is he good with approach? $6,100. Justin Lauer, already highlighted from what we were just talking about. No, he is not. He's pretty much break even. That's basically zero. Minus 0.053. That's damn near zero. That's not, I don't know, man. That doesn't make me feel super comfortable. A look at that approach over the last 7 weeks. Hot diggity damn. Maybe he's figured something out. Mr. Lindeque, I can't even say it. Lindeque. I know that's your last name, Byron, if you're still in the chat. Can you confirm that Justin Lauer's approach play has been dynamite the last 7 weeks? Maybe the last 24 rounds? I don't think my data lies, but that looks pretty good. Well, either way, we're saving it, and I'm getting the hell off of this song. What the heck is this? Genesis. That's, oh no, The Traveler. The next one is Genesis. So the first lineup means that it's going to be, you know, the beginning of time. Bringing us back to the beginning. Loving it. Going to the next one. Ben Taylor's showing up a lot. Like, I was kind of running the optimizer before jumping on, and Ben Taylor, for whatever reason, 62. That's just like, what is it called? Stuff that lingers. Oh my God. Residual. I think those are... why Ben Taylor's so good are the residual effects, or whatever we want to call it, from earlier on in the season, where he just showed up a ton and had really good stats. So I'm going to go ahead and say no to Ben Taylor. But that does, yeah, nah, I'd stay away. Here we go. Here's a more well-rounded lineup that seems extremely... like, there's a lot of potential here. Lin DQ. You got it right. I heard you say it a couple times. I wasn't gonna, like, when I see that, I just think it's Lindeck, because there's a lot of names around here that are like that, where you'd make the, like, Lindeck, not Lindeque. It also just depends where you come from, where the name originates from. Anyways. Since RBC, he's been fire. Yeah, So I like Lauer, man. I do like Justin Lauer. The lineup on the screen right now is Charles Schwab. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sexy is this lineup? I'm gonna give it like an 8.5, maybe a 9. I think this is a sexy lineup. I like it a lot. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead, remove one, and then we'll look for the next combo of players. Anybody in the chat want some lineups built around 2 to 4 golfers? Matt Wallace. Interesting. Hovland, Im, Benny Ann, Patrick Rogers, Ryan Palmer, and Matt Wallace. That seems like a pretty decent lineup as well. I gotta save this one too. Like, oh man, this lineup looks good. And I'm already like a sucker for Hovland Im starts. Like, starting a lineup with those guys seems pretty good. Okay. Carl goes Im, Rose, and Spawn. Okay. Do we like Spawn because of the Texas ties? Like, because he's won in Texas before? Is that where we're going at with this? This is another great. I think we've been at this impasse before, Shot Like Harden, where you say something, but because the sweet spot process would tell us otherwise, I would say, okay, well, we'll see your feelings or your gut versus the sweet spot process. Who will win? Is it going to be Scotty and Burns? Or is it going to be the fact they're in the marquee tee times, they're not going to see each other in the playoff? Now we'll see. Im, Rose, and Spawn. You got it. Very interesting, by the way. 2 9Ks right next to each other. Kind of like that. Im, Rose, and Spawn. JJ Spawnarino. Okay, Victor Hovland shows up. So it's Hovland, Im, Rose, JJ Spawn, Mark Hubbard, and Robbie Shelton. I said in the preview video, and I've kind of been talking about 2 6Ks kind of being an interesting lineup build this week. Like if we, because of the past optimal and GPP winning lineups, we've seen, you know, like 2 6Ks being the optimal lineup before. It feels decent to do. Shot Like Harden has gone into the future and he has found that it is Scheffler and Burns 1 and 2, top the leaderboard once again. And once again, they're in a playoff. Where this time, Scheffler wins? Or does Burns win? Let's see here. I just want to see all the 6K golfers. So Stallings. Okay, so maybe not so much in 2022 where you want 2 6Ks. I'm going to eat my words right away. Right away. No 6Ks in the top 10 in 2021. 2020 was COVID. We're not counting that. Okay, so now I can use 2 6Ks. Yeah, it happened in 2019. You actually had 4 6Ks inside the top 10. 2018, no 6Ks. Well, actually, never mind. Ben Crane, he's the only guy inside the top 10. And 2017, Danny Lee. Okay, so we're not gonna. Oh, and Stuart Sink. Okay, 67. We had 2 guys there. All right. I think the rule was we didn't. If we were gonna play 2 6Ks, let me open this back up. If we were gonna do 2 6Ks, it was either going to be 2 high 6Ks or 1 high 6K and 1 low 6K, but not 2 low 6Ks. I think that's what we discussed. Anyways, probably not the way to go. It is not showing up a lot, so not super great. How about we just limit it to 1 6K? Byron wants Buckley badly. Dude, why'd we have to throw Todd in there? You should have said Brendan. Let's get the alliteration going. You already had it. Buckley, badly, Brendan, and Bez. Let's do the 4 Bs. The killer bees. Let's call them the killer bees. I'll do that after we do Spieth Rose Davis that Jeffrey wants. Homa, Im, Rose, Spawn, Putnam, Shelton. Not terrible. Homa once again to go with Im, Rose, Spawn, Buckley, David, Lingmirth. It's not terrible. Could be better, could be worse. There we go. We subbed that out with Lauer. So Homa, Sungjae, Rose, JJ Spawn. I like this lineup. I like this lineup because I'm not going to play this line. I would never, I'm not going to pair these guys up together. I don't like Homa this week. I just, that's fine. We'll put them in a winner take all. Maybe if they do well, I'll get all my money back. So we'll go that way. Homa, Im, Rose, Spawn, Buckley, and Oren. Hey, I like that lineup. I think this is actually a really sneaky play. He had a pretty decent showing at the PGA Championship. I think he kind of faltered at the end, or on the last day, but it was he popped up on the leaderboard. Looks like Homa is going with Im and Rose quite a bit to go with Spawn. So I don't know how I feel about that. Scheffler can get this one already. Gave Burns the match play this year. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Scarecrow in the chat. Sorry to ask off topic. Could you explain how success rate is calculated? Yeah, so if we're looking at the buckets, I'm assuming that's what you mean. So if I go to the bucket system and we're looking like success rate right here, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. So this is basically taking all golfers that have ever been in this bucket. All golfers. Going back to 2013. Well, last year would be going back to 2014 because my stats originate in 2013. That's when I started recording them. So at 2013, for this bucket though, 2014, of all the golfers that have been inside this bucket, 12% of them have been inside the top 10. Frequency rate would mean every single year. So going back to 2014, each year we've had at least one golfer from this bucket inside the top 10. So success rate would be taking into every golfer together and then figuring out what the top 10 success rate is. That's essentially what this means, top 10 success rate. And figuring it out for how many golfers in total there are for that bucket. And I have that same thing here with top 5s. So you can see success rate there. And if you do go to the cheat sheet and you see that on the bucket system, we have top 5 frequencies, top 20 frequencies, and cut made frequencies. Basically, that's what this is. So of all golfers from that bucket to be in, all golfers inside this bucket, there's a 62% success rate of making the cut. So that's how that all shakes out. Okay, so I'll build one more with this one. See if Max Homa doesn't show up, and if he does, we'll kick him out. He does, so we'll kick him out. I do have the bucket system. Okay, hold on. I do have it to select a 10K. So we'll just say no, or at least take that requirement out. Here we go. Here's something a little bit more palatable. Sungjae Im, Rose, Davis, Grillo, JJ Spawn, and SH Kim. I like that lineup. Seems like a pretty decent cash game lineup. Do not mind it. I like to paint my cash game lineups yellow, as in safe, caution, whatever you want to call it. All right. So going back, by the way, Scarecrow, you're welcome. We'll go with Jeffrey and then Byron. I'll get to yours. Spieth Rose Davis. Love that. That sounds good. Oh, I need one of those red light alerts to show up, you know, hit a button and say, hey, you've committed a party foul, sir. We have 2 golfers in the same group, the same marquee group. That is a no-no. But I'll build lineups just for you, just because. So if you have the optimizer, what you'd want to do is come down to group 2, since that's where they are. I have it as a max of 1 to select. We'll go ahead, open it up to 2 so the thing doesn't break and get mad at us. And we'll build the lineup. Your first lineup is Jordan Spieth, Justin Rose, Denny McCarthy, that's pretty good, Cam Davis, Andrew Putnam, and Robbie Shelton. I don't really care for Robbie Shelton. We'll run it again. Spieth, Rose, Davis, Grillo, S.H. Kim, Andrew Putnam. I like that lineup. That lineup I can get behind. S.H. Kim is our lowest ranked guy, but I'll go ahead and kick Putnam out. Spieth, Rose, Davis, and Grillo Hubbard. I like that lineup a lot too. That's a good lineup. Spieth, Rose, Davis, Grillo, Poston, and Justin Suh. Don't mind that lineup either. These are some pretty good lineups. Bob Shelton. Is Shelton from Texas? I can't remember. From Tejas? Bob Shelton. Where are we at, buddy? Bobby. Oh, 6,400. Gotcha. I was looking like 74. 48th in the model, by the way. He's from Alabama. From Greensboro, Alabama. Where's that located? In what movie? Greenbow, Alabama. This lineup that's on the screen, this seems like we probably have a I don't know, Byron, you approve of this lineup? Spieth, Rose, Davis, Bezadenhout, Grillo, and Griffin. Charlie Hart knows what's up. I like this lineup. One day I just felt like running, so I ran down the end of the driveway. Once I was there, I decided I want to run more, so I run clear across the Greenbow County line. And when I got there, I just continued to keep running. Got myself clear across Alabama. Oh, this is another good lineup right here. Spieth, Rose, Davis, Grillo, Poston, Cole. I actually watched Forrest Gump a week ago. Movie I love. The older I get, the more I enjoy Forrest Gump. I hated it when I was younger, but I love it now. Alrighty. One more lineup for our boy Jeffrey. Ooh. Akshay Bhatia. Damn. This is a risky lineup. I like this. More Forrest Gump quotes. Okay. So my favorite, I have 2 favorite lines from that movie. One is right after he gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. He jumps out of the studio, and there's Lieutenant Dan in his hippie look. He's got the long hair, the beard, or whatever. They go out to New Year's Eve, a New Year's Eve party, and they come back. And after they piss off the prostitutes. I think it's at this moment. Maybe it could be before. He goes, all the guys down at the VA. This is Lieutenant Dan, which I don't really have a quote for, but he goes, all the guys down at the VA, they tell me, you know, hey, when you die, you will become one with God and you'll walk in the kingdom of God, and he goes, "Did you hear that, Gump? I'm gonna walk." And he goes, he kind of like settles down, and he's just like, "Gump, have you found Jesus?" And Forrest Gump goes, "Well, I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for him." One of the greatest. Oh my God, dude. That laugh is just how quick it is, and just like how innocent. I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for him. Another one that I like. Lieutenant Dan goes, "I told you whenever you became a captain of a shrimp boat, I'd be your first mate. Well, here I am, here to try out my sea legs." And right away, Gump goes, "Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan." I know that. It's the stupidest thing. Oh my God. There's too many good, like, I wish CGI was better for the Forrest Gump movie at the time they did it, because then you'd get the JFK face not looking super weird, or the Nixon face, or the Lyndon B. Johnson face when he shows his butt. "I heard you got shot in the butt. I'd kind of like to see that." Yeah. Dude, that movie is gold. I love that movie. All right. How about, yeah, I said one more and that was it. We are now on the Killer Bees, I believe. Buckley, Badley, Brendan, and Bez. Yeah, how am I gonna remember that? Buckley, Bradley, Todd. I think Buckley's 7,300 if I remember. Yeah. Badley. Who in the hell? Yeah, that's another one. "Sorry I broke your Black Panther party." You know what? Okay, hold on. Time out, guys. I was watching this, and you know, I'll admit something here. I'm a single man. I do not have a girlfriend, no wife. And I've been kind of listening to these, you know, not that I absolutely need a self-improvement, but I've been watching these self-improvement podcasts, and Jenny in that movie is like the typical high-value woman who continues to shit on Forrest Gump. And Forrest Gump, throughout the entire movie, does his best to protect her, but he's not high value enough to get Jenny's attention until the very end. And Jenny lives for what, a year or a couple months, and then dies of cancer? Like, what the hell? I mean, credit Forrest Gump for being pure and, you know, whatever, but holy crap. As I was watching, I was like, man, Jenny's just like every freaking just woman who thinks whatever. I won't say inflammatory things. Oh, hey, this is a little morbid. One of the other funniest quotes that are in there, it was not so much the funniest quote, but I laugh every once in a while, like when I hear it. Out of the blue, he just goes, "You died on a Saturday morning." And like, I can't help but not, I don't know why that's funny to me. He did it for Bubba's funeral. I think he's like, "You died on a Thursday morning," or whatever. And I can't not, like, yeah. Yes, that's another thing shot like Harden. You're absolutely right. And also, she gets pregnant with him just from the one time they hooked up. That's so, it's the layers that movie provides that you might not even once realize. Like when you rewatch it and you're just like, holy crap, you know, like, so I got to go to the White House again and get to meet the President of the United States again. Like, you know, like that just happens to any random person. You would like 3 times. Yes, I have seen the crazy versus hot scale. I've also seen the delusional woman calculator. That's also an interesting one too. Want a guy who's 6 feet tall who makes 6 figures? Well, only 1.9% of the population is that. So good luck finding a man that's like that. Byron, I have so much stuff to talk about. I apologize for anyone that's just here for the fantasy, the golf stuff. I apologize. I can get back on track. I don't mind going on tangents. That's what's fun about live chatting. All right, so we've got our killer bees. They are all plugged in, right? Baddeley. Oh yeah, Baddeley. By the way, Byron, Baddeley has been kind of bad as of late. We need a buckets, right? Absolutely. I gotta get on that. You know, combat the alpha male whatever stuff that's going on out there and all that whatever. Anyways, here you go. There. Your killer bees are saved by the likes of Hovland and Spieth. Because Bads is bad. Bads is bad at playing golf. It didn't work out. I'm sorry. That was bad. Just like Aaron Baddeley's game. Why do we like Aaron Baddeley, Byron? What are we doing? It works. The lineup works. It doesn't break. Hovland and Spieth. So I'm going to ask you a question. As we go through this, as I'm building lineups, you have to choose I'm assuming there's going to be a 10K golfer and a 9K golfer, or maybe two 9K golfers. Who would you like me to remove? Spieth or Hovland? Yeah, see yourself up. Bye. Has he really? God, why does it seem like he's just has played worse than that? Salary top to bottom. Baddeley, where are we at, buddy? Dude, my mouse cursor was right there. I literally couldn't find Baddeley. What the hell? Okay. I suppose you're not counting the Zurich missed cut, just because it's a team event, I imagine. Yeah, these are good. Okay, I'll take that back. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, so we're taking Spieth out of there. I've been working on your accent too, Byron. I've been practicing my hears and my years. He's playing really great here. That's not super great, but you've got a couple inflection points that I've been paying attention to. By the way, I bet you I could impersonate 75% of the DFS world, or the DFS content creators, but I don't want to get myself in trouble until I perfect them. But now we're cooking with fire with our Hovland Homa lineups. I can't do it. By the way, hey, one question I had for you. Weekend. This is something I hear all South Africans do. You really separate week and end in your words. Like, there's a very big enunciation point there. Can't wait for them to go to the weekend. It's very interesting. One thing I've noticed. I'm sure it doesn't sound any different to you, but weekend. Just, maybe I say it too. Now that I say it out loud. Whatever. Not a big deal, but just wanted to throw that out there. Yes, I agree. Because like sometimes it just gets contagious where I just in my head I'm like I gotta try it out. Like Mark Immelman is someone I absolutely love listening to, and every time I hear him talk, I also kind of hear the same like inflection points that you speak with. So it's like as long as you can find those inflection points, you can kind of figure out how to do the accent. But anyways, how did you went to college here in the States, right? And then I'm sure you met your wife that way. I should just I should have said going outside or something like that. Just, you know, like try to come up with something so you keep saying going outside, your dogs would be going crazy. All right. So do we like Hovland? Oh yeah, you like Homa. You've got to like this lineup. Hovland, Homa, Todd, Bezadenhout, Buckley, Badley. You gotta love that lineup. You gotta love it. Do we take Hovland out of there? Anyways, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove Hovland and see what it does. That's a good lineup though. Oh, it breaks. So we need Hovland in there. So then I say no to Max Homa. Does it even build a lineup? Does not. So that was it. How about if I leave Spieth in there? What do? We allow Spieth to do something. It breaks. So Hovland is the glue that puts the killer bees together, that keeps the killer bees together. I imagine it is something to do with AM PMs. There's 3 no. So there's 1, 2, 3. No, that has nothing to do with it. Maybe I have to open up the salary. That might be it. That doesn't work either. I don't know, Byron. This doesn't look good with the buckets. Okay. I will take Badley out. Ooh. This might be a lineup that Shot Like Harden can get behind. Scheffler, Fleetwood, Todd, Bezadenhout, Buckley, Shelton. I don't mind Shelton. Not a favorite play of mine. But I like the Scheffler Fleetwood start. I can get behind that. Scheffler, KH Lee, Todd, Bezadenhout, Buckley, Ben Griffin. I can also get behind that one. That's not terrible. I like Ben Griffin. I don't like leaving, I don't mind leaving $600 on the table, but it's happened way too much in this lineup builds. That's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Not so much freaking me out. I just don't like it. I'm going to go ahead and remove KH Lee from this. Scheffler, here's a spicy meatball. Scheffler, Fowler, Todd, Bezadenhout, Buckley, Batia. Is Batia the new member of the Killer Bees? Or Batia? It talks dirty to me a lot too, Byron. Scheffler, this is, hey, Shot Like Harden. What number can we get on this one to say a sexy lineup? It feels like a sexy lineup. And everyone knows that your feels are what is real, obviously. Man, I need another F name in there. Finau Fleetwood and another F. Then we can go the F and B's. Who can we do? What can happen down here? Finau Fleetwood. Byron, you get in the chat and things just go nuts. Things are crazy. Is there an F name down here? We need something 68. What do we need? Ooh, actually somewhere $7,200 and cheaper. Where's there an F? Ryan Fox, does that even qualify? Is he cheap enough? What is he, 74? 72? Dude, it's gonna be right next to me, isn't it? Like it does. It does not. Okay, hold on. We got an easy way to do this. Just put F. F's in the chat, everyone. Where's my cursor going? Oh no, it's picking up all the if statements. Are you, how? Why would it be picking up the if statements? It would never. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Fox. That's not an F. Fratelli. Okay, doesn't work out. Damn. My dreams have been ruined. Ruined, Byron. Ruined. Carl Fox, I won't lie, when you subscribed to the channel, I just thought it was a fake name. It still could be a fake. You could just be pulling my chain here with saying that Ryan Fox is your son's name. But I believe you. A lot of people don't have their real names on the old YouTubes. LOL, LOL, LOL. Good one. Good joke. Good nerd joke. What a nerd. Nerd. All right. So, yep, we did that one. Alex Noren? Anyways. By the way, who is it on the Swede that's on the coverage? What's his name again? Brennan DeYoung. I have been, or I mean, I haven't been recently, but I have Norwegian heritage, so I've been learning how to speak Norwegian. And nowhere is there an inflection when you say Alex Noren's name, Norien. That's exactly how Brendan DeYoung says his name in Swede, or in Swedish, Swedish language. Most Scandinavian countries are pretty darn similar in speaking language. Norien? That's weird, man. I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways. All right. I gotta scroll myself way up here because I've been going on these Forrest Gump, you know, talks and dating and all that fun stuff. Where's our next lineup? Okay, Killer Bees out. I want to say Jeff did one. Who am I missing? If I haven't gotten to your lineup or your golfers, put them in the chat once again. Oh, that's right. But okay, so you're right. DeYoung is Zimbabwean. I think it still is him though that was speaking Swedish, unless it's a different guy, and it could be, but I don't remember. Scheffler Burns, turn off the rules. Close your. Okay, never mind. I was gonna go real dark there. We'll not. We'll keep it PG. The rules have been temporarily turned off just for you, Mr. Harden of the shot likes. Scheffler, Burns, Grillo, Poston, Griffin. That seems like a pretty decent lineup. I like that one. Scheffler, Burns, Buckley, Poston, Putnam, Griffin. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. Do we like Poston this week, by the way? I don't mind Poston. Keep that one as is. Byron, I'm either blacking out right now, the brain isn't working. I'm not sure what that acronym is. Shake Lahand? Is this a Sean Connery from SNL skit thing? Shake Lahand for 200. I don't know. That's my best. What do you get with a mallard? What's the difference between your mother and a mallard with a cold? One's an old sick duck. And the how's that? Yeah, I already screwed it up. It's like, I've got a conundrum for you, Trebek. What's the difference between a duck with a cold? Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. It's just like temporary, you know. S words for 100, please. That's swords. Ooh. Look at this lineup. Does this get the stamp of approval? SLH? SLH, is this the lineup that does it? Does it turn you on a little bit? Okay, that's weird. I'm sorry. We shouldn't be making eye contact like that. Okay. That's the last weird thing that I'll do today. No Detree. Well, this piques my curiosity, minus KH Lee, but we have Justin Lauer in there. What do we like here? Do we like Lauer, or do we not like KH Lee? I personally don't like KH Lee, but you let me know. Oh, that's right. You do like the. So this is an acceptable lineup. Is this a lineup I need to save? Is this gonna get it done? Oh, I know the joke now. I remember the joke. I've got a conundrum for you, Trebek. What's the difference between a mallard with a cold and your mother? One's an old sick duck. What are they called? I think I screwed it up again. Mallard with the cold and one's a sick duck. I don't remember how the other one goes, but ends with your mother being a whore. That's how it goes. That's how the punchline is. And I screwed it up once again because I'm no comedian. Or maybe how Byron would say it, comedian. Maybe not. I don't know. We're trying hard here. We are we're approaching hour 2, and the fuel is slowly burning. It's slowly going out. But we're trying to carry on. Scheffler, Burns, Buckley, Poston, S.H. Kim, and Scotty Stallings. This Scott does know. Scotty knows. I think. Scheffler, Burns, Buckley, Poston. Okay, it's not terrible. Not great, not terrible. Oh man, I think Lingmer looks gross there. How do you feel about this one? I like Todd and Rogers and Buckley. Buckley's going to show up a lot just because he's a value. According to the model, he's a value. I don't mind it. Not terrible though. Oh, okay, Byron. Linda Q, you enjoy the rest of the night, sir. In Iowa. somewhere in Iowa in the cornfields where who knows what you're doing with corn cobs. Nobody knows. No one needs to know. But you enjoy putting butter on it or not. I don't know what whatever. Good night. Good night. Children of the Corn. This is a good lineup. I like this one. I'm not drunk, I swear. Swear it. I swear it. All right. Scheffler, Burns, Rogers, Kim, Putnam, and Hubbard. I like that one too. I don't know why Nebraska was called the Cornhuskers, but I think Iowa should have been. My 2 cents. All right. Uh-oh. Charlotte Carden, what are we feeling about these lineups? I like this one too. Callum Tarrant to go with Poston. I mean, it looks like it's kind of the same core of Scheffler, Burns, Lee, Poston, and Putnam. Doesn't seem terrible, but I don't know. How we feeling? I do like that one. I'm gonna save it. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I'll do 2 more. I'm gonna remove Buckley. I like Putnam this week. Do you like Putnam? Buckley might be too much of a brute for this golf course. We have any other lineup combinations out there that people would like me to build around? Scheffler, Burns, Grillo, Poston, Straka, Griffin. Hey, that seems like a pretty solid lineup. Scheffler, Burns, Rogers, Poston, Putnam, Griffin. I like that lineup. Did I already save this one? No, I did not. Because Rogers was with Buckley, Putnam, Tia. It's a solid one. I like this one. Yeah, you like Grillo and Sepp together? Yeah, that seems pretty decent. Did I save that one? I did not. Should have. Don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a good lineup. I like that one. Marty Doe. First time seeing Marty Doe. Interesting. Okay, cool. Any other combinations out there? People like built? I don't even know if I have that many people in the chat anymore. See, I want to build, open up the 6Ks to a couple more. I really like Hovland. I mean, Hovland and Rose seem like my favorite duo, but I also wouldn't mind Sungjae and Scotty. So let's see what these lineups look like. Yeah, Ben Taylor can just, he can go kick rocks. I don't want to see Ben Taylor. I like seeing something like this. Yeah, this looks pretty sexy. Hovland, Rose, Fowler, Buckley. Again, Buckley, I don't... All right, I'm going to block Buckley out. Not saying Buckley can't do it, but that's too much Buckley. Too much. Ooh, that's a good one. Hovland, Rose, Fowler, Grillo, Putnam, Shelton. Yeah, I can get behind that one. That looks really good. See, without Shelton, if I see a Lauer lineup, I'm probably just gonna instantly fall in love with it. Whoa. Hovland, Sungjae, Rose, Putnam, Griffin, Batia. Yep. Sign me up. That one's sexy. The Korean Cowboy, Benny Ann, Andrew Putnam. That's another good. Yeah, okay. So I'm already seeing a few lineups I really like with Hovland Rose as the start. This is kind of what I look for when finding anchor plays, is just how many good lineups can be built from a duo. And Hovland Rose so far is providing a lot of good lineups. I like Davis, Riley, Justin Suh, Andrew Putnam. Yep, I would do that. I'm just gonna run through a bunch of these, just like rapid fire, since these are my combos. SH Kim, yep, sign me up. Love that lineup. Emiliano Grillo, so KH Lee is showing up a ton. Putnam and Straka to go with Grillo. That's a sexy lineup. Add Will Gordon. I like Will Gordon this week too. I don't like Norin. Don't care. I don't mind seeing like a core 5 like that. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Hovland, M, Rose, Riley, Putnam, Lauer. Holy. What the... Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's getting a green. Green is usually like I consider to play in high up GPPs. Shot goes, I forgot to tell you my best lineup last week was my one Rainmakers contest. That's awesome though. What contest did you put it in? Because that's kind of the important one. I know Byron likes the bankroll builders, which I don't mind. At this moment in time, like there are some, I wait until like Wednesday night to see how many entries have been in some of these contests. And I look at the payout structure. If I can get, let's say like last week, I think there was a contest where it awarded the top 5,200 people with a booster pack and the top 500 got a rare pack. So there's 5,200 people. I think only 7,500 people entered that contest. So it's like you're getting free cards. Yes, the core cards not super great, but there's a chance you could pull a Scheffler or a any of the top name guys, and at least it's something, because a lot of people put it in their Rainmakers into the GPP contests or the big ones where really only 16%, maybe even less, maybe like 15%, 14% of people are getting paid out. And then you're also competing with really hard or really good lineups. You bought a regular Burns card yesterday. I already have Scotty, Hovland, and Tom Kim. Well, there you go, man. So like those are probably core cards. You don't have rare cards. Wait, what did you get the rare pack out of? What card was the rare pack? Yeah, what card was a rare? Because if it was like a Scheffler, that's pretty good. A rare Scheffler is like $60. No, it's way more than that. What, $140 or something like that? So Rainmakers, if you think about it as like stocks, so I'm buying cards at their low points. One rare Nick Taylor, yeah, it's not super great. Which is whatever. What I would do if I was you, well, it really depends on I mean, this goes along with all DFS golf. It depends on what your strategy is. What do you want to get out of it? Do you want more cards to just continue to build? Do you want to win money from contests? I personally think until I get more money from Rainmakers, and here's an interesting thing. I'm a firm believer in buying individual cards, because that's just how any pack opening thing with anything, whether it's real life, whether it's digital, does not matter. Buying them individually gives you the best return, because you could buy 6 booster packs where there's like one guaranteed rare card in them for $20. $120. That one rare card, unlikely to be a Scotty Scheffler, but you could go out and buy a Scotty Scheffler for $140. Why not do that? Then you don't have to waste your money, you know, getting stupid rares like Peter Malnati or Chad Ramey, because you're gonna get rares with those dudes. I don't think they're rigged. I think everything in the digital space, it's a random generated number. And based off of, like, basically before you even choose a pack, the number's already assigned, and you're only gonna get whatever from it. So I wouldn't say it's rigged, but I think the algorithm's always going to run against the percentages that it wants to give out. So like, if you have a 15% chance to get Scotty Scheffler in one of those packs, and that would be egregious. That's a really huge number. How a random generator works, well, these algorithms, how they would work is, okay, you got a 15% chance to get Scheffler. Sometimes that means you'll get, you know, 3 Schefflers in 5 packs, and that would be 60%. That's where you would want to stop. But I think how these companies have it is 15% is the threshold. So if Scotty Scheffler was picked pack 1, the next 16 packs won't have Scotty Scheffler in it. Now, that's not how a random number generator is supposed to work. But I think they're going to keep it close to 15% because they don't want to give away value that easily. They want you to spend money in order to get those cards. Yeah. So anyways, the one thing that I was telling Byron does a Rainmaker show. I don't know if you're aware of that, Shot Like Harden. He does it Monday night with Joel from, I forget where he's from, Daily Fantasy. I can't remember what it's called. That's a fun show because they talk about the value of cards as they go up and go down. What I told them, or what I mentioned in their podcast, was the daily fantasy leaderboard is insane. So I don't know if you know this. There's a leaderboard. If you go to My Cards and you check the top right hand corner, you have this ranking. And if you're within the top 2,000, you get money every single week. I have not missed $15 since I started playing this 4 weeks ago. $15 a week I'm getting back from Rainmakers for being inside the top leaderboard. And I think Chris Kirk is my most expensive card, if I remember correctly. If I go to My Cards, let me double check on this one. Yeah, so I bought a Chris Kirk card at $21.99. That's the most expensive card I've purchased. From there, I haven't purchased one more than I think $16 or $18. I think I've put in about $100 in cards, and each week, like I said, I got $15. Well, they also just sent me $20 yesterday or today for whatever reason. I don't get why I got $20 from them today. So altogether, I've gotten $80 back just from the leaderboard stuff. And again, I spent $100. Well, I've won money in a contest, and I've gotten a bunch of packs. I'm already at break even, and now I have all this. I'll call it equity, for lack of a better word, that I can play in contests. I get to play for free, basically. But I've bought and sold cards every single week. I buy them when they're cheap. Like I bought Ryan Palmer a few weeks ago when he was like $4. Now he's up to $8. So I sold a couple cards, got a $4 profit or whatever. Plus, I mean, DraftKings takes royalty fees from you or whatever. It is what it is. But I also got a Daniel Berger card from a rare pack that I sold for $20. Just, I think it was last week or the week before. So that was free, and I got $20 from a Daniel Berger card. How many rares do I have? Let me see. Three, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 37. I have 37 rares. I have 2 Carson Youngs, 2 Aaron Wise. I got Aaron Wise actually before he announced his return. So I got him for cheap. I could have sold him right then and there, and I probably should have. I think I got him for like $5, and he jumped up to $18. I should have sold him that because I don't think it's going to go down. I have Vince Whaley, Richie Wierenski, Kevin Tway, Brennan Todd, Streelman, Scott Stallings, Sig, Ramey, Putnam, Pendrith, CT Pan. I bought a bunch of a few CT Pans, and I sold one. Like I made I think $8 from one CT Pan. Palmer, Moore. You say I'm stacked, but you haven't listened to the golfers I'm naming off. Ryan Moore. I've got a couple Lowers. Russell Knox, Chris Kirk, like I said, he's my most expensive rare that I have. Bought Charlie Hoffman a couple weeks ago where he was cheap. I could have sold him for like $2 extra. I also bought Cam Davis last week during round 4 of the PGA Championship. He was $12 then. Now he's 18, and I bet you he goes up. So I got that. I got a couple Chesson Hadleys, a couple Lucas Glovers, 2 Stuart Sinks, 1 Cam Champ. And that's about it. So it's not like I'm stacked. I bought a lot of these cards for like $2. I wanted to play in the rare contests, and I kind of used the bucket system for those weeks that I bought the cards, just because I'm like, well, they're in these buckets. They it might work out for me. So plus every time they also have contests where you want a top 5 finisher from the year before. They didn't do it last week for the PGA, and it doesn't look like they did it this week either. But I did buy some cards for this week to do top 5s, and I don't remember who they were. 2020. Oh, Scott Stallings. So Scott Stallings, that's why I got his rare card, because that's what you would do, and I don't see any of those contests anymore. I don't know if that's because like these are all expensive players. I almost got a Brendan Todd card, but he was $18 when I was looking at it, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. Riley's over $18. I don't think he's valued at $18. Like I wouldn't want to buy him for that price. Yeah, it looks like they got rid of the top 5, which is stupid. So I'm looking at contests, and currently there's nothing like there was last week. Oh, that's cool. Let's see, like... yeah, that's not a good contest. Like, there's a rare one called the Genesis rated contest top 2. What do you need? I forget. 1 core and 4 rares. but you need a Genesis set rare, which I don't have. So I can't even enter that contest. I'm probably going to do all the cores. Like the top 500 win $5. There's currently 1,000 or 1,300 people in there. So 1/3 of the player pool is going to get $5. Seems pretty decent for the bankroll booster. I tend to put my best lineup in the single entry contest. Oh, the prize pack party is usually one that I like to do. Top 3,500 win. There's 6.5K in there right now. That's more than there was last week, but I think a lot of people wanted to play in the bigger contest last week. I like that one. You know, top 500 get rare packs. Top 3,500 win just a regular core pack, which is fine. I mean, you can get a good golfer or good golfers from that. I will do the single entry. I already did my starter pack. By the way, Shot Like Harden, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to your cards, did you know you can craft and burn cards? You can get some good players every once in a while. Not always, but I think Bezaid Hote's one of them that you can craft and burn right now. Yeah, go to my cards, go to craft and burn, and then you go to the PGA Tour, and you'll see some of the names like Hayden Buckley's one, Siwoo Kim. I got Siwoo Kim, and Luke List is another one. Looks like Denny McCarthy was one, but the redemption limit has been reached already, and Kurt Kitayama. So I actually got all three of those. I got McCarthy, Siwoo, and Kurt Kitayama. My starter pack had John Rahm in it, and I did that during the Mexico Open. He was my captain there, and I think I won $20 out of that starter pack contest. So it's like, you know, hopefully you have a good starter with yours. I would never trade out John Rahm for any, I would never craft and burn John Rahm for any of these guys. But this is a way for you to be able to play that contest every single week, because you might not have golfers that can do it every single week. So anyways, yeah, dude, Rainmakers, like I said, I've already made my money back, and I get to play these cards every single week. So I think it's pretty awesome, in my opinion. All right, kind of got away from this. My apologies. I'm really liking Hovland and Rose together. I'm going to move the Korean Cowboy out from here, although it's not a terrible play, but... Oh, well, okay, so if it's not Rahm, Scotty's the only other best choice. Like, holy crap, dude. You put Scotty in your... So that's your starter pack? You're almost guaranteed. I imagine you're almost guaranteed to win money in the starter contest. If you know, roster him for the starter, like that's your best bet to put him in. I know it might be like, you might be enticed to put him in a core because you can win more money out of a core, but oh dude, I would put him in that beginner thing and put a bunch of good core golfers around him. Just continue to milk that contest as much as you've got, like, for all the Scotty contests that you'll have. Continue to milk those ones so you just continue to get something from it, because nothing's worse than entering a contest where you're not getting anything from it. Yeah, you'll get a prize pack, a core prize pack, almost guaranteed a core prize pack, but if you can get within the top 50, you'll win at least $5 or more. You can win up to 150 if you got the top lineup like that. If you start with Scotty, that seems pretty awesome. And in all honesty, dude, this is why I think the bucket system is going to work out for Rainmakers. You don't have to go ahead and buy 5 of the top guys. Like you already have your Scheffler. You don't have to try to get Finau, Hovland, Morikawa, Homa, or anything like that. You could literally just go Scheffler, maybe find a cheap Harmon. Well, if you have these starter packs, I guess. Never mind. Okay, so Hovland was probably not your starter pack. So I'm talking about the starter only contest. If you have Hovland as a starter card, it's insane. And Burns, I bet you don't though. So I'm talking about this contest right here. So doing this contest, I think would be your best bet just to win something from your lineups. But you have those cards, yeah, I'd put them in a core, maybe even the single entry contest. That seems like a really good lineup. Nick Taylor is your rare card, right? Yeah, anyways, pretty good. All right, Hovland and Rose are just turning out to be really good combos. Gotcha. Yeah, and that starter only, you need to have all your cards as starter cards. So you couldn't, you know, mix and match some of those. Well, you can't be in that one if you don't have all starter cards. Like you said, he's captain again. Unless you're just saying he's captain again, and then Hovland and Burns are just in different contests. Unless I'm understanding it wrong. Because here are the rules. So starter set cards only. Single entry. Are you sure you're in this one? Oh, okay. Yeah. So this one says starter only. But, you know, there's 5,500 lineups in there already. Places paid out 3,000. Is that right? Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, you got some good you have some good cards. So if you just want to do, oh, I see which one you're in. Yep, I see which one you're in. The top payout for that one is $1,000. You've got a pretty good shot with the golfers that you have to win some good money. So that's awesome. Hovland, Rose, Benny N, Brendan Todd, Patrick Rogers, and Mark Hubbard. That seems like a good lineup. I'm really liking Rose and Hovland together. The ZJ, if you don't know, you can't afford it. So Scheffler Im was the other one that I liked. Chad, what's going on, man? This is kind of late, right? And Barry shows up. Barry, I was gonna mention, I was like, when is Barry gonna join? This is like, you've missed the last two, man. What the hell? We need to know our 6K golfers. Scheffler Im, Taylor Moore, Grillo, Putnam, Ben Taylor. Yeah, I don't really care for Ben Taylor that much. Oh yeah, Buckley, we gotta kick him out. Chad, you got some golfers you want me to build around? I'm currently kind of in love with Hovland Rose and trying to get there with Scotty and Im. And Griffin I like. I actually don't mind this lineup. That seems pretty solid. Last week there were what, two $7,400 golfers in the optimal lineup, so I have to get away from the not pairing the same price tag up, because obviously it can happen. Just don't like doing it. Scheffler, Im, Grillo, Poston, Putnam, and Batia. Yeah, that seems pretty solid. I like that one. Yeah, and so like we've been Chad, we've been going through like the anchor buckets and figuring out like it's Scotty or Hovland that show up a ton. And like there are other golfers, obviously. Actually, to be honest, a lot of the buckets we went through, we didn't see a lot of Colin Morikawa or Max Homa, but we did see Tony Finau in a couple of them. Of course, that doesn't mean Morikawa and Homa aren't going to finish inside the top 10, or they don't have the possibility to do so, but not a lot of good buckets that they're in that we want to play from. Barry goes, yeah, but been out of commission past few weeks, but been watching the replays. Hope everyone's been. Yeah, dude, did you have a good week last week? Because you replied on a couple of the videos saying hope y'all cashed. Seemed like maybe you had as well. Chad, who are your favorite golfers that you're building around? I do think Kawa is motivated. Okay. I am working on a strategy. I mean, it's all been through my head, hasn't been actually down on paper, to find the best way. So I kind of did the $50 100 lineup, you know, 3 different ways that you can do that. Didn't really go through like strategies and building lineups. That was just like 100 unique lineups. But I'm kind of wanting to anchor around certain plays. Like I've been doing the mini max, anchoring around 2 guys in every single one of those lineups. Every single, so that's 50 lineups. So I think 50 lineups anchoring around 2 guys I like. Then I've been doing like the quarter winner take alls, and I've been going like sometimes 2, sometimes 4. This week I'm going 7 deep in those contests, you know, that reserving 7 lineups. And what I ended up finding out is, as long as I'm creating 2 unique lineups, or I mean lineups that are unique, and reserving 2 in different contests, I have a chance to win $100 that way. So I could actually, if I'm reserving 7 each time, you know, cut that in half, so it's like 3.5 for each contest that I could build lineups for. I could legitimately still make a profit and build close to 100 lineups, maybe not so much 100, but what I want to do is get really, really narrow with my GPPs and get really, really wide with my winner take alls, because I don't. Trying to find the optimal lineup, it's much easier if you go narrow. And I just want to cover, like I want to hedge against myself with the winner take alls. And I guarantee you, I will build 1 or 2 Colin Morikawa lineups, because I don't want to play Colin Morikawa this week. I also don't want to play Max Homa this week. So I'll build like 1 or 2 lineups and just see what my best lineup is. So kind of like how Joe Idoni tends to just like to build 1 lineup, and he puts a lot of his efforts into researching just 1 really good lineup. That's what I want to do with the golfers I don't want to play up at the top. So like Max Homa, Colin Morikawa, I'll do my research like, okay, do I really like this lineup? So the one that's on the screen right now, I don't really care for it. So I'm actually going to remove Buckley, and then Ben Taylor will also be removed. The 2 9Ks kind of scare me, but this is a pretty good lineup. I do like this a lot. So I might save that one, or I might just try it again. What shows up more? This is a more balanced build right here. I really like this lineup too. So maybe I save these 2 Max Homa lineups, put them in different winner take alls. And that's my Max Homa exposure for the week. And if they hit, wonderful. Maybe I get the, you know, the winner take all money from it. Maybe I don't. But that's that'll be my exposure. And then the same thing will happen with whatever. So I'm working on it. Working through theory, doing them. Look at you giving me all of these lineup ideas. Shelly Carn, last week was the worst week of my DFS career. Barry had a profitable weekend. Let's hear more about it, man. What contest did we win money in? What's your strategy in winning money? We all want to know, man. So the first one's Spieth, M, Bez, and Herschel, like Herschel Walker. I didn't know he was on the tour, but you know, we've been told Herschel Walker can do just about anything. Bez, M, and Herschel. M. Come on. Horschel at $7,400. By the way, shot like Harden, Horschel, very cheap card in Rainmakers. Like a rare. Very cheap card. Might be worth getting. I almost feel like Horschel went down the road of Kisner. Just isn't showing up. Spieth, M, Minwoo Lee, Bez, Horschel, Ben Martin. I like Ben Martin. Don't so much care for Minwoo Lee, but not terrible. And then it breaks. Where is it breaking? What have you done? Let me double check something. I'm gonna take Bez out of there. Let's see, hold on. AM, PM, AM, AM. That's 3 AMs. That's fine. We have our 2. Why? Let me take out Bez. Just see what it does. Spieth, M, KH Lee, Grillo, Horschel, and Eric Cole. Pretty solid lineup. I mean, this is a perfect league lineup. So what are we? Is it recent form 4s? We're selecting 4 or recent form 2s. Is that why? No, Billy's not a recent form 2. Did you not pick a last week 1? I wonder if that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I think I can make this work. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Bez once again. I'll remove the last week 1 from the picture, and I bet you we can build a lineup this way. Yep, there we go. Spieth, M, McCarthy, Bezuidenhout, Horschel, and Ben Martin. That's a good lineup. I like that lineup. It fits. And just so you know, Chad. Oh, what the hell? This is sometimes I don't like the optimizer because it's last week 1s. So bucket system tells us we want at least 1 golfer from the last week 1 bucket in our lineup. I had to take that out because none of your golfers that you anchored around were in that bucket. And the ones that were in the field were in either other buckets that didn't work with the group that you had or too expensive. So that's why. But anyways, this is a good lineup. And then it breaks. Dad, I think you might have the worst luck when coming in here to build lineups. I like the creativity that comes with the golfers that you choose. They just tend to not work out. I bet you could probably do a lot of Horschel-less lineups. So this one isn't terrible. I really like Grillo. Taylor Moore is your man. You won the $2,000 riding off of Taylor Moore, right? So who are we dropping from here? Maybe SH Kim. I think who is a pretty decent play. I like SH Kim. Spieth, M, Harman, Bezuidenhout, Buckley, and Justin Suh. So Buckley will show up a bunch. Not that I don't like Buckley, but he's just a good value, and the optimizer is just going to continue to select him. Okay. Spieth, M, Benny-Ann, Bezainhout, Grillo, Batia. McCarthy and Shelton. Okay, so that's not terrible. I'm going to remove Bezainhout and bring back in Mr. Horschel. I don't want you to not see some Horschel lineups. There we go. Another Batia. So we did not see this one yet. Spieth, M, Davis, Cameron Davis, Emiliano Grillo, Billy Horschel, and Batia. That's a pretty sexy lineup. I like that one, Chad. So much so, I'm going to save it. Batia will be removed, and we'll go to the next one. Yeah, I think we saw that one already. Spieth, M, Davis, Harmon, Horschel, and Ben Taylor shows up a bunch too. Okay, I'll build one more after this one. Here's another good one. Did we already see this one? Actually, no, we didn't. So Grillo, Davis. So basically what we're doing is we're replacing Akshay with Ben Martin. So this is what I think about a combo like this. These five golfers, or the four golfers are, well, I guess Grillo gets added. So you add Grillo to this mix, and this is your core five now. Ben Martin shows up, Akshay Bhatia shows up. Let's see if we get another one that shows up. This is how you can, you know, sub in a bunch of your 6K golfers. No, this time KH Lee replaces Cam Davis, and then you bring in Sepp Straka. Hey man, this is kind of like, you know when people do the cascade method? This is actually a way you could do the cascade method with the bucket system. Like, it seems like that's a pretty good core. Grillo is a staple. I didn't even put Grillo in here. Yeah, I didn't lock him in, but Grillo's showing up with Horschel, M, and Spieth. And then you just get subs with the other guys. And these are actually all really good names. Joshua Maz, what's going on, man? So, thoughts on Callum Tarrant? I like him. He showed up a couple times in our lineups, building tonight, and he's a good relief. I think he's $6,200. Pretty good. So the music, I'll show it to you, Chad. 4.5 hours synthwave music, royalty free. That way I don't get copywritten. I got a playlist with some of these songs in here. They all come from White Bat Audio, so it's really easy to link him in your or her, them. You can link them in your description, and you won't get copy struck. Ooh, Ryan Fox gets thrown in this one. Taylor Moore's another one. So like it's Moore, KH Lee, or Cam Davis, the 8K golfers that get substituted in and out. And then your other guy outside of Grillo is what ends up being this person right here. Could be a 6K golfer, could be a 7K golfer. You had Batia in there, you had Ben Martin in there. Whoever the $7,400 golfer we just saw before this one. Dude, that's a pretty solid core. Like, if you really wanted to get really narrow and you had conviction on these plays, why not? Look at that. Davis shows up again. Now we have Matt Wallace instead of Batia and instead of Ben Martin. I like building lineups like this, because if you can continue seeing the same thing over and over again, I mean, it's not a for sure success. Don't get it twisted. But if you had conviction on those plays, this is a really good way to build lineups, because it's like, okay, this is working out with the buckets. everything that I want, you know, is showing up. So why not do it? Like, it works pretty good. Yeah, dude. I see, like, in other podcasts, not golf podcasts, because golf podcasts don't put music in the background, but other podcasts that I like to listen to, I enjoy listening to the music with them talking. So kind of what I, you know, like kind of what I was talking about with like video game streamers. They do all this stuff too. I just got to find better music. Like some of this music is just too slow. Anywho, actually, why don't we just go to the 80s crime thriller music after the stupid ads?
Might not be the best for everyone.
Start with the first one. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's go to Kirk, Fowler, and more. No, Mike Kim and D Woo. The Dr. D soundtrack? I think that's in here. I mean, he plays a lot of synthwave music. I don't know which one his were. The one that we were listening to. Okay, so Kim. Michael Kim and D Woo. So we want a couple 6K golfers to see who they pair up with. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back to 1. Your boy Grillo's showing up again. This time it's Scotty Scheffler, Sung J M, and Brendan Todd. We didn't have to put him with this one. How about I remove... Do you want me to remove Scotty? Who do we want to remove from this? I know you like him. Do you want me to remove Grillo? Since we saw him so much in the last one, or do you want to see who else he pairs up well with? Do you want me to remove Todd or Grillo? Chad, you and I have a 10-second delay. I don't know who you're saying yeah to. Okay. I hear you. Scheffler, Fleetwood, Cam Davis, Putnam, Kim, Dylan Wu. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. I like this lineup a lot. We're saving it. Saving it. Yeah, that was a sexy lineup. Oh, I gotta remove somebody. Who are we removing from this one? Because Dylan Wu and Michael Kim are they're gonna be the lowest ranked golfers, so it's always trying to kick the lowest one out, who's Dylan Wu. So we gotta make choices. Do we remove Davis, Fleetwood, or Scheffler? I imagine you probably don't want to eat the Davis chalk. My assumption. That, I thought. Scheffler, M, Benny Ann, Brendan Todd. So you said both. Burnt to Davis. Are we doing speak to talk? Is that what's going on? Let's see here. So with that being said, we don't like playing the TPG, so we're gonna remove the TPG, right? I'll kick Todd out. But I also won't have to if we don't play the TPG. So Hovland, Im, Fleetwood, Putnam, Kim, Wu. Do we want to remove Putnam? I think he's a pretty decent play. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Chad. We'll figure it out. Hovland, that seems pretty sexy. I mean, that I like this, the start here. This is nice. Hovland, Im, Fleetwood. How about I bring back, you let me know who to get rid of here, but I'm going to bring back Scheffler from being able to, I want him to be able to be selected, but we'll remove Todd. I'll run another one. Scheffler, Im, Harmon, Putnam, Michael Kim, Dylan Wu. So Putnam's showing up a lot. Let's boot Putnam out and see what else shows up. This is a pretty good lineup, though. I like this one. Scheffler, Im, Harmon, Poston, Kim Wu. Chad, you already have all your lineups built? Oh. I'm really curious to see the lineups that you put into the $5 last week. I imagine you had Brooks lineups, right? You had to have had Brooks lineups. Well, I shouldn't say you had to have, but I imagine, knowing who you are, you would have put Brooks in some of those lineups. Okay.
WordPress made easy as pie. Go big with Bluehost.
Let's see. The last one that you had was Kirk, Fowler, and more. Good luck, shot like hard. He was your 5th most? Damn, dude. Just didn't have him paired up with Hovland. Haven't done any Kirk lineups, by the way. Peppering the 8K range, huh? Oh, Fowler killed you? Damn, dude, that sucks. Ooh, Chad, this is pretty sexy. Im, Kirk, Fowler, Moore, Eric Cole, Akshay Bhatia. I like that one. Adding Ryan Palmer to the mix, not terrible. Sung Jae is going to be your guy, though, it looks like. Your boy Sung Jae. Here's a good one. I really like this lineup. Ooh, Troy Merritt. It's the first time seeing Troy Merritt up here, but we get Finau in there now. That's first time we've seen Finau with these lineups. First time we've seen Kurt Kitayama. Putnam showing up once again because Putnam's a value this week. So this lineup has a lot of diversity. So starting out with Kirk, Fowler, and Taylor Moore gives you like access to so many different golfers. Very interesting. Sung Jae's your main dude, though. Look at this. Luke List shows up. Haven't seen Luke List all night. Nick Hardy, we have not seen either. This is an interesting combo. Hovland now shows up with Putnam and Cody Gribble. Gribble's a Texas boy, isn't he? Whoops, wrong year. I don't have his stats. Son of a bee. Anyways. Not terrible. You're welcome. Oh, this is a good lineup. I like this one. Finau, Kirk, Fowler, Moore, Straka, and Tyler Duncan. Yeah. That works for me. Sungjae Im, Chris Kirk, Ricky Fowler, Taylor Moore, Eric Cole, and Cameron Champ. How do we feel about Champ, Mr. Champ Whisperer? This doesn't seem like a Champ type of golf course, but since you are the Whisperer, is it gonna happen? Here we go. I can get behind this lineup because it's got my boy Carson Young in it. I freaking love Carson Young. I think the guy is, dude, I need to buy more rare cards of his on Rainmakers. That might be my only Kirk lineup, honestly. Because I probably won't play a lot of Kirk this week. Ooh, Cameron Champ, Texas A&M guy. So does that mean we play him? Very interested. Vince Norman? All right, this might also be the only other Kirk lineup I play. That other one have Eric Cole in it? It did not. Oh. These two lineups I love a lot. Hovland, Kirk, Fowler, Moore, Andrew Putnam, Carson Young, Sungjae, Kirk, Fowler, Moore, Cole, Vincent Norman. Yeah, okay. Nope, I love that. That's real good. See, I don't like that. That's not telling me a lot there. Here you go. Here's a Morikawa lineup. And it's only because I already have a lineup saved with Sungjae in it, but now Morikawa shows up? Sure. Sure. These lineups, I'm gonna mark yellow. Dude, these lineups are pretty sexy, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. Kirk, Siwoo Kim. Here's a cash game lineup, right? Has to be. I like this one too. Jesus. And I won't like. Okay. I have these like, so I'm most likely gonna put these in winner take all lineups. That's not really the combos that I plan to play with, but the lineups that are being created right now are so good that I want exposure to these lineups, and I want to be able to win the most amount of money I can with the limited exposure I'm going to have of them. So I like those lineups a lot. That's pretty gross. I'm not playing Kyle Westmoreland. Nope. And dude, I'm not playing Homa either. God, that's a good lineup. I don't want to play Homa either. So, wow. Okay. Streelman, that's pretty good. I don't mind that. We just replace that last 6K golfer with Streelman. That's all we're gonna do. Marty Doe. Hey, if you want exposure to Michael Block, here you go. Here's the lineup. M, Kirk, Fowler, Moore, Smalley, Block. No. Oh, this is a good lineup too. Oh, that's okay. I'm cool with, okay, this is fine. We're kind of getting in that territory now where there's so much Chris Kirk, I might have to just throw this into a dime time or a quarter arcade. I'm not planning on playing Chris Kirk like with my GPP win lineups. This is a good lineup too. Jesus. Barry, are you still in the chat, by the way? Here's Jimmy Walker. This is Shot Like Harden's team right here. Hey, we already heard this. Race Against Sunset. That's what it's called. This is a good line. Okay, I gotta save it because of Shot Like Harden. Just gotta do it. Colin, Kirk, Fowler, Moore, Sepper. So it's either we go with Hubbard or we go with Walker to go with that. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I might. Okay. Basically, what I'm going to do with these two is they're going to be in the same winner take all contest. And if it's Walker that wins, awesome. If it's Hubbard wins, that's cool too. Or maybe they both make the cut and finish inside the top 20 and help me win either way. But we'll keep it right there. Probably gonna call her quits pretty soon. So if anyone has any other lineup considerations, put them in the chat right now, and we'll do like a rapid fire. But we'll probably end it in like 3 minutes. I'm gonna aim for 11. This is a good lineup. So Sepp keeps getting brought up in here, and I don't want that much Sepp Straka exposure. Although I had him in my Millie Maker lineup during the PGA. Okay, so it breaks. You have to have Sepp Straka. Absolutely, Chad. If I can, I will join you guys tomorrow. Last week during work was crazy. It was hectic. There's no way I was going to be able to escape for a little bit to even join, but maybe tomorrow. I might be able to tomorrow. You going at 3:30 or are you gonna try 4:20? 3:20, 4:20, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, lunch. Let me know. Or 20. Okay, I might be able to make that actually this week. I'm sorry I couldn't do the PGA. That would have been awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man. Ooh, I like Justin Lauer. I like that lineup. Alrighty, I think we're gonna call her quits. I don't see anyone in the chat, and I don't really have anything else to go over. So, Chad, maybe I'll see you tomorrow at 4:20. For the rest of the people in the chat that are watching, that are creeping, hopefully we went through enough lineups today that were interesting. By the way, Chad, I don't know if you saw this before, but we did a whole Forrest Gump segment in the video. You gotta go check it out if you're still here. If not, that's fine. But that's all that I have. It's 11. Hope you guys have a good night. Good luck this week, by the way. And hopefully we see a ton of green screens. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like on your way out. Comment, subscribe, all that good